Whoa. Woo. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? What a morning, man. What a morning. Crazy. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. Sheesh. All right. So it looks like the stream is working. All right. That's cool. Hey, man. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you for those who have been here hanging with me, man. This has been crazy, so frustrating. I was so pissed off. I'm like, I'm starting to come out my character. I'm talking to the lady. I'm like, listen, what's going on with my internet? I paid my internet. I got I paid extra for better service, and I ain't got no service. I'm like, oh man, they tell me that it looked like there was an outage, but it's fixed. I'm like, okay, well, if there was an outage and it's fixed, why isn't my service not working? I'm going through stuff. They said, did you restart your router? Yeah, of course I restarted my router. Everybody knows to do that. Even people who don't know about electronics know to do that, right? But anyway, whatever. So I restarted the joint, still nothing. And you know what? Something told me, I'm like, look, this is no offense to people who have a job and provide a service, but they read from a script. Some people know, they've been doing it for years. They know how to do everything from A to Z. But a lot of people in these industries and these jobs where you deal with so many different customer service people, they don't necessarily know what they're doing. They just read from a script. And then when they get a question or a problem that they can't handle, they go talk to a supervisor or a coworker. Bottom line is, I told them, I said, look, I've restarted my modem twice, right? First, before I called you guys, and now since you told me to, and still the same issue. You said everything's fine. What's going on? You know what? Why don't you guys restart your signal on your end? Because maybe your signal is not, up to date after what you told me. Of course, she said, well, I don't know, sir. Give me 1 second. Let me just talk to somebody. She talked to somebody. The guy, whoever, I don't know if a guy or girl or whatever. Whoever they talked to said, yeah, okay, we're restarting the signal now. They restart the signal. Boom, my stuff is working. Come on, man. Come on, people. Listen, I went to school for computer information systems. Don't play with me. Anyway, all right. Long story short, guys. Like I said, I apologize. This show was supposed to start at 11 a.m. and it is now 12:25. So great start for a Saturday. Happy to be alive. Happy to be here talking to y'all. All this waiting, I went to Dunkin' Donuts. I got my iced coffee. Dunkin', no, I'm just saying, and it's extra light. I didn't want it extra light. I said, can you make it light and sweet? Whatever. That's my preference. Sorry, don't kill me. I actually had, imagine that. Look at this, guys. Imagine that, right? I actually had to tell the lady to pour some coffee out. I mean, pour some of the stuff out and give me more coffee. And it's still light. She basically just gave me milk. Here, would you like some coffee with your milk? All right, my rant is over, man. I'm done. Oh yeah, guys. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all remember whatever happened? I missed the old Kanye. You know what I mean? There you go. So I'm stretching the shirt all out. Young people would never. Anyway, all right, y'all. So let's get it cracking. I've been having you people wait long enough. First off, let's hit the video and then we'll come back and shout everybody out, man. I appreciate y'all for holding me down. Thank you for being here. Those who just showed up, I had some technical difficulties, had to get through it, finally here. And for those who've been here since the beginning, man, I appreciate y'all so much. We'll be right back. Yeah, buddy. All right. So definitely Salute to Pudge Nice. What's going on, Pudge? I'm gonna try to give y'all all some love and maybe get to some of y'all stuff today. Bamba is better than Mitch. Yes and no, if that makes sense. I agree. Bamba's skill set all around is better than Mitch's skill set. But Bamba worries me, guys. Man, we just might just get right into it. So what bothers me about Mo Bamba, I've said this in the past. If you guys listen to whatever I've said about Mo Bamba, my biggest concern with Mo Bamba is, and I know people say, have different rationale, different reasoning, but to me, it's a little too much time. Mo Bamba has been hold on. Let's gotta get it right. Let's see here. Let me get this straight. Mo Bamba. Basketball Reference. Hey guys, if you ever look up stats or want to look up stats and just don't bother to do it, and you say, one day I'm gonna start looking up stats, start with Basketball Reference. There's other places you can go that give you more in-depth stuff. Basketball Reference is pretty damn good, but start with them. At least you can cover your basics. So Mo Bamba has been in the league since 2018, so he's been in the league 4 years. 6.2 points in his first year, 5.4 in his second, 8 points in his third, and last year he averaged 10.6. So there has been an improvement, a steady growth. Okay. He averaged 16 minutes the first year, 14 minutes the second, 15 minutes the third, and now this past year, 25 minutes, almost 26, and he averaged 10 points and 8 rebounds. So yeah, I mean, that's not bad. Those are not bad numbers for 26 minutes to average 10 points and 8 rebounds, and almost 1.7 blocks, almost 2 blocks. So don't get me wrong. Look, Mo Bamba's talent is undeniable. Like, you can see him when he's on the court, and especially when he's going well. He's a tough guard. He stretches the floor. He's lit the Knicks up in the and I think, wait, did they beat us 2 times or 3 times? Well, anyway, you guys know in the chat, maybe better than I do right now. I'm old. I just had a birthday recently. I'm freaking 45. Listen, and I ain't coming back like Jordan wearing the 4-5. I'm out to pasture. So the 2 games that I know they definitely beat us, Mo Bamba got busy in one of them, maybe both, but I know one of those games he lit us up. And so did who else lit us up? I don't know. Maybe it was Franz Wagner. One of the Wagner boys did us dirty. So anyway, the point is, my biggest issue that I have with Mo Bamba is he's been in the league 4 years. And I get it that you could say, well, he only played limited minutes. He wasn't even playing 20 minutes up until this past year. But why? Orlando stinks, and they've stunk for 4 years. Why wasn't Mo Bamba playing? See, that's my question. The first year you could say, all right, that's coaching. I mean, they've had coaching turnover over there. I don't know if Van Gundy was there his first year when Mo Bamba came into the league or not, but they've had some coaching turnover in Orlando, right? But I can understand the first year. Rookie, he's not raw, but he still had some stuff to learn. Much more polished a game than Mitch came into with. So Mitch was much more raw. So the first year, fine. Second year, you could say, still going to limit him with the minutes, with not the minutes, but the time. Like, he won't be starting. He'll be coming off the bench, whatever you want to do. But then we'll start to get a better look at him and give him more opportunities, feature that skill set on offense. Didn't really get to see too much of it. You got a song, that Mo Bamba song, that the kids were going crazy with, and that really pumped up his celebrity, even though he didn't do nothing to earn it. But Mo Bamba was a craze during that time. The kids were loving that song. I remember that. Even year 2, you could say, okay, I'd like to see a little bit more from him. We didn't really get as much. We actually got less from him. And I think he played like 60 games, so it's not like he was super hurt or anything like that. Crazy. Year 3. At this point, Mo Bamba's Orlando Magic team had nobody on that team. Nobody. A lot of players were gone. Aaron Gordon was out of there already. You know, there's no reason why Mo Bamba shouldn't be the man. But Mo Bamba didn't dominate. He didn't show me that he's the next budding star in the league. He showed that he's a decent big man. But how good of a big man is he? You guys know we got the Joel Embiids, the Jokic's, the Karl Anthony Towns. That's tier 1. You know, that's like an unstoppable class. Then you got the second level class, second tier. I don't know. I guess those are guys who have really good skill sets, who do one thing really well. You might say Rudy Gobert is a tier 2. So Rudy Gobert is a great defensive big man, fantastic rebounder. So listen, I know he's not sexy on the offense, but you got to give him his props for what he does do. So I would say he's maybe tier 2. But guys like that, Mo Bamba, is he tier 3? Is he tier 4? Because 10 and 8 is nothing to sneeze at, but it's, you know, he don't look dominant when he's out there. With Orlando, who don't have anybody. And then the guys they do have, what's his, Greg Anthony's son, Cole Anthony, like he was supposed to be tearing the league up. He started off hot in the beginning of the season, and then he tailed off, and he's basically like an afterthought over there. You brought in Jalen Suggs. Is that correct? Jalen Suggs? Yeah. You brought in Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs struggled. If anything, Wendell Carter has been the man over there. He's been looking more dominant than Mo Bamba at the big. You know, you could say Franz Wagner has looked pretty good too, but he's not a big man. He don't equate the same. So my whole point is, I just think Mo Bamba, for what he could be over there and all his skill set, he should be getting busy. He shouldn't be averaging 10 points. He should be averaging somewhere close to 15 points. And still, the 8 rebounds, that's cool. The blocks, that's cool. But his points with that skill set, I mean, basically you're telling me that somewhere, would you say Miles Turner is better than Mo Bamba? I guess maybe you have to, because he's better, a little bit better defensively. No, he's a little, yeah. Maybe he is a little better than him. So somewhere is Miles Turner, and you got Mitch Robinson, and then Mo Bamba is in the middle. So if that's the case, then Mo Bamba should be, I think he should be around 15 points a game. And he hasn't showed that. He should be the man up. First off, Franz Wagner is almost like that's his team, and it should not be his team. It should be Mo Bamba's team. Okay, that's my rant. That's how I feel about Mo Bamba, guys. you guys chime in, tell me what you think about that. I look at him and I'm just always concerned. And his motor, to me, that lends to the motor. Some people say, yo, Mo Bamba doesn't have a motor. I think I saw somebody say earlier here that Mo Bamba's got a motor similar to Kevin Knox. Like, hey, I don't know what it is, man. He doesn't seem to consistently dominate, and he could. With what he can do, he can get you on the box. You know, he can dunk. He's got some athleticism, and he can stretch the floor, and he's good defensively, and he's a decent rebounder. There's no reason why Mo Bamba shouldn't dominate. That's all I'm saying. So salute Pudge Nice. JJ was good. Randle, one of the best defenders. You know what? Let me go through the names, and then I'll come back, because I'll take forever if I do it the opposite way. JJ was good. Sherwin, I see you. Almighty Finesse, appreciate you. Sha Power is in the building. What's going on? El Servi, what's happening? Let's see here. E. Gibson's in the building. What's good? What's happening? 914's finest. Matter of fact, it's good that you jumped in, brother. Listen, are you going to go to the draft party, the MBK draft party this year in Atlantic City? Because I know you was there last year, and that's why I got to meet you. Definitely be cool to see you there again, brother. And this is a really cool dude, guys. Yeah, he was funny as hell too. We were having a good time watching that draft. We were going crazy, like, what the hell are the Knicks doing? But in the end, it turned out okay. Let's see. Give everybody a little love. Make sure I got people I want to shout y'all out because I know y'all taking the time to put your thoughts in the chat. Don P, what up? What's good? DSJ, what's happening, brother? Miss Geraldine, thank you as always. A la Wise, my brother, what's happening? Hard Will in the building. Man, I hope y'all, I feel bad, man. You know, I hope some of y'all haven't been waiting too long, man. I know it's been a minute, bro. Subliminal, what's good? Keith Turner, what's happening? All right, yeah, okay. I think I shouted everybody out who has chatted. If I missed you, I apologize. You know, it's all love. Let me get some of my co-panelists in here. What's up, Marvin? How you doing, brother?
Morning. What's going on, Ryan? What's going on, chat?
Chilling.
What's up, man?
Don P.
What's up, man?
Yeah, once again, man, I want to apologize to everybody who's been here and for people tuning in right now. Unfortunately, this morning I had some technical difficulties. My internet was not working. I was trying all types of stuff. Nothing was working. Restart and reboot, and I had to call them. They messed up. They don't know what they're doing. Then I talked to the lady, got her to do what I thought she needed to do, and then we're finally here. Finally worked. So, all right. So, what are y'all? Let me start with Marvin. Marvin, what do you think about Mo Bamba as a player and his fit for the New York Knicks? Because let me give the whole point of this is because we've talked about Mo Bamba throughout the year as a possible big man for the Knicks. Then that kind of died down a little bit, and now all of a sudden it's come back to life, and it's not necessarily because of fans, because of the media, or because of the Knicks. Mo Bamba kind of infused himself back into the chatter by going on Donovan Mitchell's live and saying that telling Donovan to come home. And everybody knows that Donovan is from New York. I think his father has a job with the Mets or something like that. So he's always in New York. He's a big Rangers fan. He's a big Met fan, and he shows up. So that was interesting. The fact that Mo Bamba said that on his live. And what does that tell you? There's, not only is it like you're trying to get Donovan here, but when you're saying that, why would you even say that? Are you trying to, come to the Knicks as well? Because Mo Bamba definitely is somebody that the Knicks can go out there and possibly acquire, especially with the fact that he sees the writing on the wall. Orlando's got a top pick, and there's some bigs in this draft. So, it is what it is. So anyway, Marvin, what do you think about Mo Bamba?
Well, I guess you can start by saying his motor is. I think his motor is pretty high. I think he's a fit for the Knicks. I mean, his salary. I'm trying to bring that up right now. I'm not quite sure on that, but he's not too old. He kind of fits the mold of Tibbs, a defensive center. I think he can actually be developed a lot more. Now, would this be considered just a sign without no kind of trade or anything? Because he is a free agent, correct?
I think this would still fit. Let me get that as well. Let me see where he's at.
I was just wondering if I'm pretty sure he's a free agent, yeah. And his numbers are 10 points and 8 rebounds. He's 7 foot tall. Hey man.
Yeah,
listen,
he's a restricted free agent.
I don't think they should shoot at him. But that would be a great fit, I do believe. And I think he's at a low cost. I don't think you have to give up very much for him either. I think he'd be a start. Well, now, I guess this would be in preference to you believing that Mitch is leaving too, correct?
That would be, well, would it? I mean, I see, it's interesting. Yeah, I guess you could say that because Mo Bamba and Mitch should be making similar money. So I don't think you want to pay both of those guys. But I tell you, it'd be nice to have Mitch and Mo Bamba. Like, that's a nice 1-2 punch. That looks a lot better than Mitch. And so the reason why I said that's not going to happen because they ain't paying Mitch and Mo the same amount of money. They can't afford to do that for two bigs. But I'm just saying it's a nice, very nice look to have that instead of having Mitch and Noel and senior moment Sims, right? Yeah.
Well, now remember this too. Now he's only in this is his 5th year coming up. He's actually progressing pretty well. I mean, he's going along slowly. Now he was on the Magic, so I mean that's to be understood. But at 10 and 8 this year and coming into his 5th year, development could really step in. I think he's a rim runner. I think he'll be a great fit, and I think that would probably start the wheels to turning in New York to start getting things. So I really believe that would be a decent fit.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, my whole thing is like I have some concerns about him, but if you're telling me we're gonna lose Mitch, and Mo Bamba's our consolation prize, I ain't mad about it. I'm really not.
I mean, is that an upgrade? You think about it. Is that would that be an upgrade?
And listen, it might be. It might be because you know what? Say what you will about one thing I will tell you is Mitch is one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. So that you do miss some of that, but if Mo Bamba averages 8 rebounds a game, that means if he's not the strongest on the offense, he's pretty good on defensive rebounding. And Mitch doesn't always do great on defensive rebounding. He, it rounds out. And I think that's where he kind of loses. That's the reason why Mitch is not a double-digit rebounder on average because of on the defensive side. But it doesn't matter. To me, he's a better scorer. And he's averaging 1.7 blocks. So he's damn near just as good defensively as Mitch is.
Yeah. And I really believe that could work. I really believe he seems like he would fit well with Tibbs also. So I don't think that would be a bad deal. I think that's pretty cool.
All right. Don P, what do you think about Mo Bamba, bro?
Hey, what's up to the panel, y'all? First off, I want to say nice shirt, bro. I agree with you. Old Kanye, man. College dropout, man.
Facts.
But, to answer your question, man, if we could keep Mitch, I would rather keep Mitch, and I'm only saying that because this is coming from somebody who wanted Mo Bamba in that draft. Like I really, really wanted him, just because of where he's from, his size and everything. But we already have Mitch. But if Mitch doesn't decide to sign with us, then Mo Bamba, we could plug him right in. It's just that, I just don't want us to have a center who's doing too much. Somebody said it best. In order for this Knicks organization to thrive, everybody has to know their role. You know what I mean? And I don't want a center who's trying to put up, 15, 20 points. I just need my centers to rebound and be the defensive presence in the paint. That's all. And Mitch was perfect for us in that role. So I think Mo Bamba will be a good choice for us. I think if Mitch decides not to sign.
Yes, and I think that's the key to the whole thing, Ron. And I'm pretty sure you in with us on that. I mean, this is predicated on what Mitch is going to do.
Right.
I agree. Salute to Thunny Music. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're right. He can stretch the floor. D Nice, what's good? Eric Surreal's in the building. I see you. I get everybody. Yeah, I think. Oh, Walter Blackman, what's good? Good to see you. Julian Blum, my dude, man. What's going on, bro? Yeah, and last but not least, I think I got everybody. If I didn't, I apologize once again. My guy John, what's happening, brother? Listen, this is the other side of it, bro. Because my whole thing is like, I don't like to don't put something in front of me, shiny and new, and then take it away from me. Because then I'm like, I don't know now. How do I feel? Because this is predicated on us keeping if we sign Mitch or not. But if you throw Mo Bamba's name out there, and I start to think about Mo Bamba's game and what it could do for the Knicks, and then at the end of the day, Mitch comes back, I might feel away. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I wasn't thinking about Mo Bamba like that, but Mo Bamba's a nice person to have on the team who can stretch the floor. We've been looking for a stretch big for a minute. Granted, we don't need Mo Bamba to go. See, the thing is, I talked about Mo Bamba's dominance level and what I expected to see from him in Orlando, because Orlando don't have anybody. Orlando is kind of rebuilding, not kind of, they are rebuilding. And so I thought Mo Bamba should have been the dude over there. But if he comes to the Knicks, where we have, I think, arguably much more talent than Orlando, we just got to put it together right, then I don't expect Mo Bamba to go crazy with the points. I expect him to be around 10, 12 points. That's fine. Over in New Yorkville, I love that. And he stretches the floor, great. Oh, man. And then, the other thing is they got highlights, and I'm not even looking at that, guys. So, you guys can look at it and enjoy it. It's nice to see. I'm not looking at Mitch shooting threes in the offseason yet again. He got me 3 years ago when I saw him taking threes and he was hitting them. Last year, 2 years ago, he was hitting threes. And I was like, oh, okay. Last year, I saw him with a video. He hit like 5 or 6 in a row from the corner. I'm like, Mitch, I'm ready. And then Tibbs was talking about stretching the floor and having Noel shoot threes and all this stuff to give better opportunities for people to space. Did we see Mitch? Did we see Mitch take 1 3? Because I don't remember Mitch taking 1 3 in the regular season. So to me, I don't care about all that. Mitch, you can keep doing it. That makes you feel good. But I'm not falling for the okie doke. We need a guy here. If Mitch comes back, then you got to find someone who can stretch the floor from somewhere. And who knows? I mean, look, if Mo Bamba wants to come here on a discount because he just wants to be in New York, and he already did 4 years in Orlando and wants to be on a better team, and he's willing, because he's still going to get paid millions of dollars. I think his qualifying offer with Orlando, if he was to stay like 1 more year, would be $10 million. So this is not stuff to sneeze about. It's still good money. And if he comes to the Knicks and he would say, listen, I'll come to the Knicks, you pay me 11 or 12 or something like that. I mean, I don't know how the Knicks could do it, but if they could swing him for 11 or 12, I'd do that. You pay him Burks $10 million. Get Burks up out of here. Give that money to Mo Bamba if he wants to take it, and we go from there. And then we still sign Mitch if Mitch wants to take a decent salary hike, but give us a homeboy discount. Like if he wants to take 14 or something like that, I don't know. But if the teams, if the team itself works together, Mitch, his team, and Mo Bamba and his agent and all that stuff work with the Knicks, they could make something happen. I'm just saying. I know that's I never even thought about that, but there's no reason why. The Knicks got a lot of players that we don't know what to do with. So if you tell me we can keep Mitch and get Mo Bamba and still work with the younger guys that we got and figure out how to use them, because I think we don't need much right now to be a good team. We need a little bit more to be a great team, yes, but we don't need much to be a good team. We could have been a good team last year. We just got to figure it out, and Tibbs needs to change his style a little bit and play the right guys. So I think we'd be okay. Anyway, that was long-winded, guys, but I have a lot to say about this Mo Bamba thing, man. I just spurred the moment.
No, man. I like that you put that out there. That's the thing though. Like, if hypothetically, if we can get Mo Bamba while we still have Mitch, you don't think that will cause some form of an issue in terms of one person getting time over the other?
No, because I would say that if Mo Bamba was not a humble dude. Mo Bamba has, at least from what I know, you guys can correct me if you guys have seen something other than that. From what I know, Mo Bamba has been very humble, watching his team go from a decent team to a lottery rebuilding team. He hasn't complained. He watched Jalen Suggs come in, getting all the hoopla. He watched Cole Anthony steal the spotlight from him. And then after all that was said and done, Franz Wagner came in and basically made Orlando his team right underneath Mo Bamba's nose. And I haven't heard Mo Bamba say anything. Now, I'm not saying he loves that, but he's been a real good, player outside of the court. He hasn't, at least from what I know, he hasn't created any turmoil or any controversy. And I think a guy like that being able to come back home to New York and be with the Knicks, maybe his childhood team that he loved, I don't know, but on a much better roster, I think he'll be fine with that, because the other thing about Mo Bamba, I'm a little concerned with his motor. So if you tell me Mo Bamba's going to get, there's no reason why Mo Bamba shouldn't get 20 minutes a night, and Mitch can get 20 minutes a night. And then some nights Mo will get a little bit more than Mitch, and that'll save Mitch, you know, because they both can be injury prone bigs, especially Mitch. I think it could work.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, if you put it that way, that's a good point, actually. You know what I mean? If you put it that way, yeah, I'm all for that, because you know, I gush for talent. I'm always gushing for talent. So I'm with you. Don't dangle no carrot in my face and I can't get it. So I don't know, if we could get Mo Bamba, I would be happy. You know, I'm not against it at all. I'm really not.
Right. I hear you. Salute to Yankees Morning Brew. My guy, Project Nerd, a.k.a. Heck in the building. What's good, man? Great shows, man. I'm sorry I wasn't able to tune into every show this week, but what I did see, you did a great job, man. You're in a good lane, and you love the Yanks, so it works. And I also thought I might have some time to jump on and chop it up with you, but I couldn't do it. But I appreciate the content. BN _ in the building. Big Shiesty's in the building. So the thing that I was thinking about, right, was I understand that who said it? Yeah. Keith Turner mentioned that Mo Bamba ain't nowhere in the rim intimidator as Mitchell Robinson is. True. Like, if you look at stats in the paint, Mitchell probably is better with affecting people's shots defensively. But as far as shot blocking, Mo Bamba's a better shot blocker at this point. Mitch was a good shot blocker. I don't know what happened to Mitch once he had the whole thing with the weight and he went up and down with weight. It looks like he kind of lost a little bit of his timing, because he still affects the shots, but he doesn't necessarily get the block. I know this is semantics, guys. I'm talking in circles here. But
no, you're doing the eye test. Like,
yeah. Because you could be a good defensive player. Because Mitch was very good at getting blocks. His timing was on point the first couple years. This past year, as far as blocks go, actual blocks, he wasn't as good as he's been in the past. Like, Nerlens Noel is a way better shot blocker than Mitch. His timing is excellent. But Mitch is good defensively, and his big body, he moves good, so he affects the shot. So I understand what you're saying, Keith Turner. I agree with you on that. But I just think, Mo might be a better shot, actual timing-wise, a better shot blocker. That might not be saying much, because if Mo gets beat all the time and he's always recovering to block shots, whereas Mitch is playing better defense and stopping shots from actually going in, even if he's not blocking them. Listen, man, you gotta look at things from all angles. So I appreciate that, Keith Turner. Let me get Marvin back up in here. Marvin.
Yeah, I'm back, man. I had a call come in.
No, it's cool. No problem, man. That's what happens. That's how we do it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Because I'm doing a little paperwork, so I'm going to listen a little bit. Then I'll chime in just a second.
All right, no problem. Yeah, Eric Surreal like he can't basically block shots no more. Yeah, I mean, he still can. I mean, he had some games in the season, especially towards the end, where he might have had 3-4 blocks. I think one game in the last 2 months, he might have had a 5-block game. But yeah, Mitch just doesn't do it consistently. Some games he don't have no blocks, and I'm like, and he's active. I don't know what it is.
Well, I think it has everything to do with his weight, because if you remember when Mitch first came into the fold, this dude was closing out from the paint to the 3-point line blocking shots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, he was one of the fastest centers in the league. So I think it has everything to do with his weight and him just adjusting to his body. Like, when he first came into the league, he was kind of awkward with his movements because of him just being young. So I think in this case, Mitch will be fine. Once he's used to his weight, or once he gets to his ideal position as far as his body goes, I think he'll be just fine in terms of being more of a defensive presence in the paint. I think Mitch is getting better and better as years go by. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, there you go. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. I just thank you to 914's finest. See, this is why the eye test, it sometimes matters, but the numbers don't lie. you know, he said that, you know, Bamba averages 1.7 blocks and Mitch averages 1.8. So they're basically even. And Mitch, see, so that's the thing. That now it points to something else, guys, because my eye test, I've known what Mitchell Robinson is. I think we all have seen it, but it shows that, you know, when you have such a high regard for his skill set and what he used to do, it doesn't look the same. It doesn't translate. But even when he's not giving you what you're used to, he still averaged, you know, a percentage point block better than Mo Bamba. So I apologize to you, Mitchell Robinson, and apologize to the chat, man. It just looked worse to me than it is, because I'll go back to the basketball reference and look at the stats. And, you know, Mitchell Robinson, you know, I just had it up. Okay. This past year, he averaged 1.8 blocks. The year before that, he averaged 1.5. Now, mind you, he only played, you know, with everything that happened with the pandemic and, you know, him, 1.5. But the year before that, it was 2.0 blocks. The year before that, 2.4 blocks. So I'm looking at it, and I'm just thinking in my head that I don't see the same Mitch. But that's still not a bad number. That's almost 2 blocks a game. So my apologies. I admit when I'm wrong. So I will say, but you can see definitely there has been a decline in how active he was and his time. And I still think, I know I'm right about that, Noel is a much better shot blocker than Mitchell Robinson. That's without question. You can't, I don't care what numbers say, because, you know, I seen what he does on the shot blocking end.
But if you don't mind, Ron, I wanted to chime in. I want to say something, but what you get that Mitch doesn't give you is Mo actually shoots threes. You get that stretch. You know, you get that stretch. You might lose that small tick on block shots with Mo, but then you're going to gain that stretch with something that the Knicks really need. So I think, and then you look at the money. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you can get him, I'm not saying just be so happy that Mitch walks, but if you get him in return, you don't lose in, you don't diminish the team at all. I don't believe that.
Yeah,
and you know, I agree with you on that, Marvin. That's the thing. And here's the thing. Well, okay, Paris Douglas said, you know, Mitchell Robinson is better. Yeah, blocking wise, yeah. Oh no, I think he might be better than him. So I apologize for that. That might be wrong. He might be a better shot blocker than Mo Bamba is. However, he's not a better all-around player than Mo Bamba. Right. So if Mo Bamba can give you almost, like, we're talking about a percentage point at current time, you know, almost the same as what Mitch is giving you with shot blocks, and Mo Bamba may be the exact same type of rebounder. He's better on the defensive end, maybe, rebounding wise, and they give you similar numbers. And then offensively, Mitchell can't touch Mo Bamba. Then Mo Bamba's better. So that's the thing. That's how I look at it. And this is the one that I like. A lot of Knicks fans don't like to say, and we don't want to look at it. I give it to you on this one, Pudge Nice. Jericho Sims could possibly do the exact same thing that Mitch is doing with less height. He's 6'9", he's 6'9", and he could possibly block the same amount of shots as Mitch at this point in his young career as where Mitch is. And rebounding wise, we've seen when you give Jericho Sims the minutes, he gets the same type, you know, that same type of rebound action that Mitch gets when we see him out there. You know, and they both offensively are not good. And they both can't shoot.
Muscle.
Yeah, so
not getting out muscle.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I hate to say it.
I think it all boils down to the money too. I mean, Mitch is looking for a lot more money, and then you're getting basically the same player back with an attribute that Mitch does not do, which is shoot threes. So I think it's a no-brainer if you can get him. But I believe it's going to be a tug of war with him, guys. I think it's a lot of people after.
Oh no, yeah, and no, JJ, you're right. I already know that Sims is not a good shot blocker, but could he become a better shot blocker? Yes. This is one of the things that plagued him in college, and this is why he didn't go higher in the draft. It's the fact that his timing with regards to shot blocking is not good, because you know the dude can jump out of the gym, so you would think he can block anybody's shot, but his timing is just not. It's not solid. And I don't know how you work on becoming a better shot blocker. I don't know the drills. There's definitely drills, but like I don't know if you can really improve on that, if you don't already have some of the instincts. Like, I don't know how that works.
Well, I have a question for you, Ron. Now let's go to this point. What do you think he will command? Right now, he was under a 1-year deal for $7 million. Mo Bamba.
Honestly, I mean, look.
Because the reason I bring that up is this. If we're going to debate on a pretty large contract, should we just debate on that with Mitchell?
Like, I don't know what's fair, to be honest, when it comes to a big man with that type of skill set. I'm really not sure. If he's making $7 million this year, Orlando's qualifying offer to him for next year, if he doesn't sign an extension, is $10 million. So I would say his value for 10 points and 8 rebounds is probably 12 to 13 million. Realistically,
and Mitch is asking for more than that, obviously.
Right. So realistically, that's a safe number for a team to say, okay, well, you were making 7, you playing more minutes, and you're averaging, you were averaging like 5 points at one point. Now you're averaging 10 points. You've improved. You're averaging 8 rebounds. I would say 7 to 12, $5 million per year is a nice jump. If you want to say 13 to make it $6 million per year, I think that's a nice jump. But I don't know. And then Mitch is asking for more. So that's the whole thing. Mo Bamba's people probably asking for more too, because, hey, I don't know, man. Oh, so, okay. Shot Power said Mo Bamba wants 12. Mitch wants 15. Who you want? Ooh. I mean, if that's the case, I ain't gonna lie to you guys.
I'm going with Mo.
I'm going with Mo Bamba.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mo too.
I'm going with Mo Bamba.
I mean, first of all, you saving money and you getting another attribute at that center position, so that's a no-brainer. But I don't know. But see, here's the key: it might be another team jumping there. Okay, we give him 13. Okay, the next one we give him 14, because there's a lot of people out there wanting Mo, man. So
right, and that's the monkey wrench. This is the Jeremy Lin scenario. If you guys remember what happened with Jeremy Lin, the Knicks were trying to bring him back. They were going to sign him to a decent offer, and then Houston came out and offered him $15 million. The Knicks was like, "What? Take care of yourself, Jeremy. It's been real. Linsanity was the move." He was out of here.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Let me get my guy Subliminal up in here. What up, bro?
Oh, salute. What it do?
Hey, man. How you doing, man?
Good. I just hopped on a little bit too late. Y'all done switched up the topic from Mitch to
Linsanity. No. You can feel free to chime in, bro. Listen, whatever you want to talk about, it's fine, bro. I'm sorry. Once again, I apologize for being late. So the floor is y'all's, man.
Oh, it's all good. Like I said, it's a pleasure to join the show. I'm big fan of the show. Yeah, y'all was talking about Mitch, man. Unfortunately, he gonna walk, As far as Sims and the other guys, you guys were mentioning Mo Bamba. Just Mitch is just a different animal. They don't challenge him at the cut. You know what I'm saying? It's like having a Rottweiler loose in the yard. They just not gonna go in there and challenge him. So I know that you mentioned Noel's has more blocks because they'll challenge. You know what I'm saying? Noel's they ain't afraid of that skinny, thin, wiry guy. As far as Mitch.
You know what? Not to cut you off, but that is a really good point that Subliminal made, because of the fact that Mitch is a little bit more of a defensive presence. Mo Bamba, Nerlens Noel gets more opportunities. Now, I mean, he gets those blocks, but he gets opportunities that maybe Mitch wouldn't get because they don't challenge him. That's a good point. Continue,
right. Yeah, because they'll get to the cup, then they'll just stop, pause, and then either pass out or whatever. Though that's kind of just what I'm getting at. Though he doesn't have the stats that Noel's does, as far as rim protection in that way, and Mo Bamba and Miles Turner as well. So Mitch has that defensive. He's just that defensive specialist, someone who could guard guys on the perimeter. You saw him block KD out on the perimeter. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get a clean block on KD out there. So those are just certain things that Mitch brings to the tables that other centers don't, and that we're gonna miss out there. Yes, he's not a offensive threat, but he cleans up the glass and gets you those extra possessions as well. You're not gonna feature him in your offense, but he just does all the dirty and gritty work out there that a lot of those other players you guys mentioned don't. And they're gonna cost a lot now because they're out on the market, you know. So it just depends on which way we're gonna go. I just don't see the Knicks going after another center, knowing that we have Noel's out there. He's still on contract, and what are you gonna get from him? I mean, you can't trade him. And you know, we're always looking at other people's centers. Oh, he got $5 million here. You know, this guy got, but we always got to overpay for guys anyways. So just because they, you know, like a Bisback Bamba got a $2 million contract, or you look at what's the other guy's name that's with the Phoenix Suns.
I just saw him. Man.
Yeah, the tall.
Not Ayton, the backup.
Yeah, the backup played for Golden State too. So you got, you know, guys like that. You know, you're always gonna overpay for guys like that because they like those warm cities, contenders, and we're always gonna have to overpay for guys. So that's why we had to overpay for Noel's, and whoever we bring in, we're gonna have to overpay for. So I'm kind of okay with the route we're at. You know, just go ahead and see what Sims is. You know, he may be that, you know, backup center for the next couple of years, and that's just how Tibbs is. We probably won't draft a center because Tibbs doesn't have the patience to you know what I'm saying, develop him and let him get some run in the beginning of the year, because you saw how he did Sims. You know, yelled at Sims. You know, every mistake he made, he pulled him out the game. So I'm okay with what we have for now. We have more glaring holes as far as, you know, wings. We need wings. We need I mean, unfortunately, this is a point guard, you know, heavy draft.
Obviously, your take on it is you would prefer to keep your centers that you have and focus your attention on other areas on the team.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess that makes sense if you think about it, Ron. I mean, well, but okay. I mean, so you're not looking for a lot out of that center position because of the performance that they have given you. And the upgrade would be my question. What would that be?
Right.
And how much are you willing to spend, though? Because apparently they weren't willing to spend the money on Mitch, and now he's going to walk. So by bringing in, you know, like I mentioned, Miles Turner or whoever, a Bamba or whoever's available, how much are you willing to spend? And is it a real major upgrade? And are you featuring the center as well?
Right. And you know what? Yeah. Once again, 914 is fine. As Bamba's career 3-point percentage is 35%. From a center, that's nothing to sneeze at. And this past year, I mean, he was shooting 4 attempts per game. He shot 38% from 3, which is pretty impressive for a big. However, you know, this is the funny thing, guys, and I'm sorry, I don't want to confuse everybody, but the more and more I look at stuff, I just like to get a full impression of what I'm looking at. And it's just so much going back and forth. Like Mitch and Mo Bamba are a very interesting comparison. There's a lot going on there. You could, you know, outside of the fact that Mo Bamba can shoot, Mitch is a better player. But Mo Bamba's got that skill set where he can stretch the floor. But on the flip side of that, too, is like there's so much to break down. Mo Bamba shoots 48% from the field. He averages 47%, from the field for his career. Like Mitch is like in the 70s. You know, of course, everything is by the basket. It's lobs and it's very close. But that just tells me, one, Mo Bamba struggles on the block, because 48% for a big, that's not good.
Well, would that be predicated on the amount of 3-pointers that he shoots?
I guess I would say this year you could definitely say, okay, 4 attempts per game is a really good amount for a big. That's, you know, but years prior to that, he was 2.6 attempts, 1.7, 1.5, and he was still shooting 48%, 46%, 47%. So he struggles on the block. That's something you got to think about, guys. And also another thing to think about when you're thinking about your big, if you are thinking about him being a scoring option for you. It's okay if he just takes a shot here and there. That's, it is what it is. But if he's going to be a scoring option, 48% in the block for a big is not good. And definitely playoff time when they're limiting your 3-point shooting and stuff like that, and you got to get your points in the paint. I don't know.
There's two other ways I look at it too, because he's going to want a big contract too. So how, are you willing to give him a 4-year deal, a 3-year deal, especially when everybody's going to be off the books after this season? Noel's going to be off the books. We know the whole story. Everyone's going to be off the books. Then, not to mention, we just went through this last year when we got rid of our defensive players and brought in offensive players. And then, we flipped and flopped it, and then we lacked the defensive, tenacity that we had the year before. So are you giving up Mitch Robinson's defense to bring in an offensive player that stretches the floor and then not being, a great rim protector? So, and not being able to guard, players on the perimeter that Mitch brings in, because that Noel's kind of does those similar things. We had Noel's is kind of a carbon copy of what Mitch brings to the table. A rim runner, someone who could guard the perimeter, kind of, because when he's out there and he gets burnt, he pokes the rock out, and then it gives us that opportunity on a fast break. So he has those similarities like that. So are you willing to make the same mistake as far as bringing in an offensive player, not a defensive specialist?
Right.
I agree with the whole Noel notion, because I can't see him going toe-to-toe with Joel Embiid and the Aitons of the world. I can't see him banging in the paint with these type of guys because of his frame. Now, he gets his block shots when, shooting guards, small forwards, and everybody challenges him. But when it comes to like banging bodies with like the legit big men in the league, I can never see Noel doing that. I can see that from Obama. I can see that from Mitch. We have seen that from Mitch. But when you look at the Raptors and how scary they are, the only reason why they lost to the 76ers was because they didn't have an answer for Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? They never had an answer for him. And I think that's important that, we said it's a guards league, everybody's worried about the perimeter, but it's becoming a defensive league all over again. So with that said, as much as I want Mitch, I think that Mitch kind of got us by the balls. He kind of got us by the nuts. Like it's about whether or not he decides to sign with us. And if he doesn't, I mean, how are we going to replace a talent like him?
You see what I mean? Do it. Like, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't mean to cut you. I thought you were done. But you can't sleep on Sims either, though, because when Mitch was out, Sims was out there guarding a Joel Embiid and those bigger body guys, and he kind of held his own out there. I believe he had like 9 rebounds in the first half or 7 rebounds against Joel Embiid when we went against the Sixers. And don't think that Sims ain't gonna be in the weight room this summer hitting the weights and getting a lot bigger and stronger to be able to hold his own, because that's what he brings to the table. He brings strength. He brings, athleticism. So he's going to highlight those even more next year. And it's just going to be a team effort, with those thin, wiry guys. You're going to have Noel's out there. But when it comes to big guys like Joel Embiid and just guys like that, you'll have Sims down there. So it'll be up to Tibbs on whether with matchups on who he puts in there and who's defending those types of guys.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a Sims fan through and through. It's just that he's undersized for his position. I've seen him held his own, but it seems like he has to work, 2 times harder than the next guy to get to that position to do that, which is fine. I think he could probably be like the next Ben Wallace, because Ben Wallace was 6'9". But again, I don't trust that fact. I think Sims would be better served as a reserve center in our midst. I don't know about him being our starting center, but I don't know. Only time will tell, man. Only time will tell. But I agree with you, though.
No, I think what Sub says is true, man. That definitely is something you got to think about when it comes to Mitch just man, so much. It's like I don't know, man. This is gonna be a tough one to call, man. What are the Knicks gonna do? I understand where Sub is coming from. Like, he wants them to continue to build what we got and cultivate the young guy, because we could have some good stuff if you. We saw how they played down the stretch in these games. I know there was guys, they weren't, all the talent wasn't out there, but the point is they still played with no direction and with no RJ. These young guys had to figure it out and do their thing, and they won convincingly. They played really well. So imagine when you allow them to play and incorporate them with your guys like RJ, figure out what we're going to do with Julius, get him going, maybe bring in somebody else who can kind of run the floor at point. I'm also okay with Quickly still being the starter. That's fine for me. I'm okay. So you could bring in a good backup, and I'll be okay with that. But either way, you got to do something a little different. Give me a better option than Alec Burks, and then figure out if you can get like a 3-and-D type guy who plays solid defense. Even if he can't score as much, I'm okay with that too, because you still got guys who can score on the team. The Knicks don't have issues with guys who can score. The Knicks have issues with our offensive strategy and how we run our offense. And they do have issues with guys who can shoot from the perimeter, because our perimeter shooting has been pretty bad. So you could make a change there, and bring in maybe one guy who's a good shooter as in addition to what we got. And you could change our offensive system around. So maybe guys who struggle shooting threes, because it's a 3-point league, you got everybody shooting threes when some of them ain't 3-point shooters. Maybe bring them into 18, 20 feet. I'd much rather have a 2 that's going in than a 3 that's not going in. That's all I'm saying. So I think the Knicks need to do some stuff like that and tinker and figure things out. And we can have a much better team with what we already got. We can just make little moves. Before
center, I just want to mention, I think he was bringing up a center out of Phoenix, and that's JaVale McGee, and that would probably be at that mid-level exception. Now, I don't know. I think I believe that's who he was referring to, wasn't it?
Yeah,
JaVale.
Yeah, JaVale McGee.
Yeah. So I mean, those are options out there, man. I mean, there's so many guys on the free agent list this year too, man. So, I mean, I agree totally what he's saying. I mean, because Sims did look decent against some of the top centers down the stretch. And if you could actually divert that money to somewhere else, you might be able to better their team. Now, having confidence in that center position as it stands, I don't know how well that is set with the Knicks or fan base, but you never know. I mean, Sims really never got the heavy minutes to determine if he was, capable of getting everything done. And maybe he gets a chance now.
Right. No, I mean, that's true. I agree with that. Let me take this quick moment to give a couple more shout outs, and then we can get on to another topic. Just want to say what's up to Harlem Girl. I see you. Appreciate you. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. D. Coolis is in the building. What's going on? Margaret Edwards is here. Salute to you. Brahim is here. Thank you for tuning in. My man, Tony Crow. Knicks and Bruises. Guys, if you haven't checked out Tony Crow's show, Knicks and Bruises, please check him out on the MBK network. Also, he's a part of the crossover show, and you see him a lot on Sim stuff, whether it be pre-games, post-games, whatever it may be. So definitely salute to Tony. What's going on, brother? Also, I want to take this moment to salute my man Cully. Appreciate you. I think I might mention you, but if I didn't, definitely salute to you, brother. So guys, if you haven't, check them out. Cully and Subliminal here both have gotta cut that off. Both have a really good show on the Blorange Tears network. It's called Knicks After Party. Am I correct?
Knicks After Party, Thursdays at 11. Appreciate that, Ron.
Yeah, man. This past Thursday was pretty cool. They did like a little bit of a draft show, like a mock draft. And I liked it because, one, it was nice to do a mock draft show. It's always fun to do that. But how they set it up was they did a mock draft show where Cully had his picks, Subliminal had his picks, and they gave the chat their chance to have their picks of who they would like to pick up until 11, from 1 to 11. And then, Sub threw a curveball in there. When we got to 11, he's like, you know what? Now, why don't you take he switched everything around. So whoever the chat was picking, he switched the order. So now instead of the chat picking off of their order, you had to pick like Cully's picks, like whoever Cully had left. and then Cully would pick whoever Subliminal had left, and Subliminal would pick whoever the chat. It was pretty cool. So definitely check that out, guys. Go to Blorange Tears. You can see the show. It happened this Thursday, so you can watch the replay. It was pretty cool. So what I wanted to do now, guys, is I wanted to play this real quick. Give me a second. Make sure I got this up and running. There we go. All right, let me put this in and we'll come right back to stuff because I wanted to.
The second annual NBK draft party in Atlantic City. There'll be a live podcast, live DJ, live video shoot. $40 for a VIP ticket, $30 for draft night only. Get your tickets now.
Damn, that was so quick. I'm gonna play that one more again.
The second annual NBK draft party in Atlantic City. There'll be a live podcast, live DJ, live video shoot. $40 for a VIP ticket, $30 for draft night only. Get your tickets now.
Yeah, guys. So if you guys are interested, there's definitely going to be a draft party, MBK draft party, June 23rd in Atlantic City. It's at the Flagship Hotel and Resort. And it should be pretty fun. You can see it'll be the NBK crew, all the usuals, Tony Crow, Sim. You'll see Steph in the building. Isaiah will be there, I believe. Some other people will be there. I'll be there. So it should be pretty fun, man. Definitely sign up for that if you're interested. And, why not? Get out. You can go be a part of the draft party stuff. Then the next day, there's going to be like a brunch. And maybe I think there's, depending on the amount of people, he was talking something about a basketball game or some other, different things he's trying to get going. And then you're also in Atlantic City, so you can gamble a little bit while you're there. Why not? So, that being said,
sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like it's gonna be.
No, I went last year. It was pretty fun. It was pretty cool, and it sounds like it's going to be even better this year. So definitely, if anybody's interested, definitely check that out. Here's the thing. Let me put this in the chat ask the chat this. Does anybody care that the Knicks hired Tim Hardaway Jr. as a scout? And I don't mean care whatever. No, I mean, how do you feel about Tim Hardaway being a scout? Put it in the chat how you feel about it. I just want to see something. Give that a second.
They hired somebody else too, though, recently.
Did they? Do you know who that was?
Let me look it up real quick. I think I wrote it down somewhere.
All right.
Ron, do you think they might have made that move to try to push along the fact that they're trying to get a real good point guard in New York?
That's my feeling about it, that Tim Hardaway might be scouting some of the guard type guys for the Knicks, especially if not in the first round, maybe the second round, because I just don't know. Like, I think in the first round, when you got the 11th pick, if you're going to keep the pick, I don't even know if you can target a point guard. More or less, I think you got to target the best possible talent available. But we'll see what they decide to do if they keep the pick. But then again, they might want to have him look at guys like Ty Washington and stuff and really evaluate them, see, if the Knicks should be paying closer attention to him. Thank you for tuning in, Ron Sarmiento. Appreciate it, man.
So who do you guys like in the draft at 11?
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Sid?
I said, who do you guys like in the draft at 11?
To fit the team or best player available?
Yeah, I'll let you answer first, Marvin, because I know who I like.
Well, no, I'm gonna go last, but I wanted to ask him. You mean to fit the team or the best player available?
Fit the team, best player, whatever you like. Just like somebody who's going to be there, not like a Paulo Banchero, somebody realistic. At 11, because when we did the board and we mixed it all up, like Ron said, there was Davis was still on the board on all three of our boards. Then Tari Eason was on the board on a couple of them, and Benedict Mathurin slipped somehow. Then that was pretty much it on those three boards as far as best player available that kind of fell to us.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar on the draft, but is there a chance that we might be able to get Jeremy Showtime?
See, I like Jerry. I got an echo. You guys hear echo?
Yeah, I think it's me. Let me go out and come back in.
No, I don't hear it now.
Okay.
Oh wait, yeah, no, I hear it now. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Let me get my man Jay Boogie in here, and you can continue what you were saying, bro.
Okay, yeah. So I did that. Salute, Jay Boogie. Salute. I did it on purpose on Jeremy Sohan. I think I gave him to the Spurs 2 picks before us. But I'm high on Jeremy Sohan. I was watching him about 2 months ago when I was doing my research on Kendall Brown because they're teammates on Baylor, and Kendall Brown was ranked a lot higher. And I'm like, all right, okay, I'm looking at Kendall Brown, but I'm like, who's this other kid out there? Just high energy, switchable on defense, high motor, high IQ, 6'9", good wingspan. Just, we don't have those kind of defenders, that kind of length on the Knicks that guard multiple positions. And I kept watching him, and he just stood out more and more to me. Then later on, I saw him hopping up the boards because he was ranked like 19th at that time, and now he's ranked. He go top 8 as far as that. So yeah, I'm high on Jeremy Sohan for that reason. He fits what we need. He's a Tibbs guy. He's kind of like how Grimes got on the court with his defense of tenacity. So yeah, I would like that. I would like him and he doesn't have to be a power forward. He could go in and be a 3. And he could, like I mentioned, he could guard 1 through 4. So if there's a big point guard, he could take point guard duties on defense, and he could guard the best wing defender, and not have RJ worry about that so much, and just concentrate on using his energy on the offensive end. And it gives help too with Grimes out there on the wing defender. So that's why I have him so high on my board. They ran their offense through him a little bit too. He was a 6th man of the year. They ran a little bit of offense through him coming off the bench. He can't really shoot threes, but he knows that. He'll give you a little hezzy, little pump fake. He'll get to the cup. He'll work you in the post. Just he doesn't make many mistakes on his offense. He knows his game. He's comfortable with what his game is, and I'm all right with that. Later on, we'll worry about his shot, but I'm high on him in that area as far as 11. But I'll take a Davis too. I'm high on Davis as well, Johnny Davis. So either one of those guys, if Benedict Mathurin falls, I'll take him too. So there's plenty of options at 11 with our pick. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I mean, I hear you. I definitely agree. I'm gonna let Jay Boogie give his take on that. I just wanted to say what's up to everybody in the chat once again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Knicks Nation 112. Appreciate you. And this is why I did the Kaiser Soze. What's going on, bro? The reason, and A-Train, I see you. The reason why I wanted to see what the chat would say, because I wanted to see how many people remember or look at Tim Hardaway in a certain way. So I think Geraldine, was it who said it? Yeah. Geraldine was like, why did they hire him? He can't stand the Knicks, right? So I just wanted to see how many, because, the younger generation, younger people ain't going to really look at it the same way. They were like, oh, Tim Hardaway, that's Tim Hardaway. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr.'s father. Okay, whatever. Yeah, but the old school people who know, like, yeah, Tim Hardaway with the Knicks, that's crazy. Because, there was a real love-hate thing going on there. I don't know how much love it was. A lot of hate. So, yeah. But it's interesting. We're way past that. I just thought it's a funky hire when you think about how the 90s went. The 90s was wild. We had brawls with Miami, like physical fights. The Van Gundy dragon on Alonzo Mourning's legs.
Reggie Miller the scout. Nah. Heck nah. You done broke all of our hearts. Nope.
Yeah, that was a wild time, man. That was a wild time. Anyway, so that being said, Jay Boogie, what do you think about the Knicks at 11? Subliminal had posed the question, like, who do you like for the Knicks at 11? It could be the best fit for the Knicks or the best, like, overall talent that you think will be there that they can pick.
All right, salute, 3 capital S's. Shout out to everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat. Hope everybody in the greatest of health and safety at this point in time. Also want to send my condolences and prayers out to the Buffalo situation, you know what I'm saying? And anybody else going through anything in life, you know what I'm saying? Tough times is going on. And it just shows how still we are so much that far apart when we're supposed to be working towards getting back together. I just wanted to put that out there real quick, and happy Saturday to everybody. Honestly, I'm gonna ride with NBK, the president. I'm gonna ride with Mr. Sims. You know, the situation has us tied up where it's like the draft and free agency. Between the draft and the free agency, you know what I'm saying? Like say for instance, with Mitch, we don't know what's going on with the Mitch situation, but we drafted before that situation. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know if we securing a big or what. So I guess to me, honestly, I probably would go best available. When it comes to me, I'm taking the best available person on the board. You know what I'm saying? The best person that either fell back or that's high up on our board. I know we got a few guys out here. We did the guy from Arizona. We did the guy Davis.
Right,
yeah, and so we got a couple of guys we're looking at. That's good. So you don't tie yourself into one person. But honestly, if it was me, honestly, I know I'm not going to get a point guard. But if I had to pick and I knew Mitch wasn't here, I'm going to grab that big man out of Duke. I'm going to grab that 7-foot dude, because the way I look at it, we need to start grabbing the best person of something at some type of position. And I feel like he's going to be the best center in this draft for years and years to come. I know about the boy. Yeah, I know about the boy at Memphis. But when you're talking about a center, Mark can do everything. He can face the rim, the little mid-range. He shoots well above 70% at the free throw line. He can recover off of your mistake and his mistakes. He can rebound, and he can protect that rim, and he can run the floor. So it's a lot of things that he can do, you know what I'm saying? And he comes from a great school. So you know he got, you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of potential and a whole lot of teaching and learners, you know what I'm saying? But if not that, you know, I'll go along with the best situation, you know. If I may and I can real quickly, you know what I'm saying? You talk about the Tim Hardaway thing. I don't like it. Reason why I don't like it, because they call us the Mecca because of our handles in our city, in our state, New York. If you wanted a certified guard that know how to groom guards, I'm going home. I'm going to get Rod Strickland. He's right there at home. I'm grabbing Rod Strickland. He got the most babies in the league. From Derrick Rose to John Wall to Rajon Rondo, all them guards that he raised from Memphis to Kentucky, them point guards that's in the league, that's Rod Strickland's work. So we know he know how to not only see a guard, but then he knows how to go work with a guard.
That's a great point.
So I'm right here at home. I'm keeping it home. You know what I'm saying? But they doing what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Hope it works out. Hope it, you know what I'm saying, it works out for the situation. But that's just me on my point. I would have went and got straight out of Truman High School, Bronx, New York, Rod Strickland. That's what I would have done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If not him, Hashem guard, somebody that really know how to get them guards and gonna work with them too. That's just me.
I mean, and just saying, like, that was, I didn't even think about that, and to be honest, that's disrespectful me not to even think about it.
Yeah,
but Rod Strickland would have been a great person for them to bring in, because not only is Rod Strickland one of the perennial guards for the New York Knicks, he wasn't here long enough, but we know that, yeah, like you said, there's guards who we love today and who had very big impacts in the NBA that modeled their game after Rod Strickland. And Rod Strickland has worked with some of these people. Yes. So, like, why wouldn't we think to give Rod Strickland that job rather than Tim Hardaway? I don't know. That's a good point, Jay Boogie.
Yeah, but to me, that just means that they're looking for a point guard later on in the draft, though, because it's not such a top-heavy point guard draft. There's guys that are going up the board, like a Scottie Pippen Jr., who had a good combine. He had, what did he have, 21 points the other game? He opened up the game with the steal. He just rose up the boards. I think he was going to go undrafted, so maybe he's someone that you could get later on in the late rounds. In the second round, late second round, maybe maybe we buy back into the second round and draft him there. Marcus Sasser is another name that's people are talking about. A 6'1" point guard, elite shot maker, just tight handles. You get past you, good athleticism. He just has to declare to see if he's gonna declare for the draft though. So they're doing their due diligence as far as finding guys, finding gems later on in the round. And I salute them though, because they're not too comfortable at finding talent as far as point guards later on. Maybe they just need more help. So you got to be able to turn each stone and figure out what's going to be available at that position. So
yeah,
I'm with it.
Yep.
And in my eyes, Ron, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was actually just about to go. Don P, did you weigh in yet?
Yeah, like I said, man, I'm not with it. Like I said, my thing is, what's next? They're gonna have Reggie Miller be another scout for us. Like, I'm not cool with that idea. Like I said, I'm with Jay Boogie on this. You know what I mean? We can hire our own to take care of matters like that. You know what I mean? That's what the office should be doing. As Knicks fans, I don't think that's acceptable at all. This is not one of them towns to where we outsourcing for all of our needs. Everything that we have, we already have at home. So that's all I'm at with it.
I mean, the only thing I will say, and I'm gonna get back to you, Don P, because I want to get your take on what Subliminal asks about the 11th pick. The only thing that I will say is there's been a lot of time removed from the situation, and Tim Hardaway Jr. has been with this Knicks team twice. So maybe the relationship between the front office and Tim Hardaway has grown. Like they have like a friendship. Who knows? Maybe him and Dolan are cool now. I don't know. I just don't get it. But, I don't know. Maybe it's different now. It's wild. It's weird to me. But so, Don P, what do you think about what Subliminal was saying as far as a pick for the Knicks at 11? First off, do you prefer the best possible talent or the fit for the Knicks? And then who do you like? Is there somebody that you would like them to get? Do you think that might be there?
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty about our situation. We could go with a bunch of options because, for one, we already have young talent on the team that we want to develop. That's for one. So with that said, I think that, we should get the best available talent, for what we're drafting for, but we got to keep in mind that we already have RJ, who's a natural too. We already have Quentin Grimes, who's a natural 3-and-D type of player. We already have Evan Fournier, who I don't see the Knicks giving up anytime soon. So that 2 position is locked down. So drafting somebody like Johnny Davis, like I just don't see I don't see the reasoning for that. You know what I mean? But however, we do need a 3. We definitely need 3s. We definitely can use another center just in case Mitchell Robinson leaves. And as far as the point guard goes, I'm not really too keen on getting a point guard in this draft. You know my take on the point guard situation. I think we should trade for a veteran point guard who's not, 29, 30 years old, but somebody who fits the timeline of the team. And, who could play that position. Point guards, somebody that Thibodeau trusts if he's going to still be the coach of our team. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah. Can I just piggyback off what he said about Johnny Davis though? So Johnny Davis measured at 6'5" and 3/4 and some change, almost 6'6". He is similar to a Quentin Grimes who is only 6'4", but they do play that defensive where they can guard 1 through 3. And like Ron had brought up earlier, the way the end of the year was when we were playing unselfish team basketball, the ball was flowing, everybody was able to touch the rock, and there was no egos in the way. Johnny Davis is another guy who could just slide right in and be a team player type guy. Someone who could get their own bucket, someone who's deadly in the midi, and that's something that Ron had brought up earlier too. Is we don't have guys who take middies. He's just a killer in the midi, and like I mentioned, high IQ offensively and defensively. And I just feel like someone like Johnny Davis would be another guy who doesn't have an ego that can just slide right in, and we wouldn't skip a beat. So
I got a question for you, Subliminal. Who would you take out to put Johnny Davis?
You wouldn't have to take nobody out. You just let them. Competition brings out the best in players, so you let them fight it out during practice, and then you figure out the things later on. Who's the number 2? Who's the number 3? Who's a starter? Because we're not in a position to be just passing up on talent. We need to bring in as much talent as we can possibly have. Then we'll figure out who the number 2 is and who the number 3 is and who the starter is and who the bench player is at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
I agree with that. I think a lot of people look at Johnny Davis, and we've seen like what he can do, and you say, okay, Johnny Davis can ball. But then you've seen like in the NCAA and prior to the tournament, he had some moments where he didn't show up. So you saw kind of like the bad side of him, and you start to feel away and judge his game. It's not like he's not explosive and sexy with that. He's like a Devin Booker type. And let me tell you, Johnny Davis might be a sneaky steal in this draft. People kind of write him off, and he could be something special somewhere. We're going to be looking back and like, damn, why didn't we think about Johnny Davis? Well, we did think about him, but we weren't like so impressed with him that he was like heads above everybody else. And I think that's the way the league looks at him too. Like he's just one of those guys where he might just, as soon as you put him on the court, he's going to do something that you like and that helps your team, but it may not be like drop dead sexy like this guy is a stud right away. But give him a couple years, then you're like, wow, Johnny Davis turned into something really special. He could. I just think we should, not rule him out. But the other thing is like what Subliminal said. I like how you put that, man. Competition is going to bring out the best, and we're going to see what we got. And maybe that's what we need, because you know what? As much as I like Quentin Grimes, Johnny Davis to me is a better player than Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes is good defensively, but I got to tell you, I was a little disappointed in how inconsistent his three-point shot is. And that's all he brings to the mix, because he don't really do much of anything else. So when his three-point shot is not consistent and is not going, it looks pure, it looks beautiful when it goes in, but he missed a lot of shots. Yeah. So just putting that out there.
Yeah, and I wanted to chime in. I wanted to chime in on Jay Boogie's take. I think Jay, you were referring to Mark Williams coming out of Duke, the big.
Yeah, that's what we was talking about.
Yeah, and if he's not there, in my eyes, I see it like this, guys. I think everything should be predicated this year on what we didn't do last year, which was actually satisfied, because everything's going to be left up to Tibbs. So we have to get players in here that Tibbs is going to play. And when we start talking about young players, we went through that last year with him not playing the young players. I'm not saying not draft a young player, but I'm just saying look at it this way as a GM. If you're going to use that 11th pick and it's not exactly that Mark Williams, then I say you use that pick and you join another player that you planning on getting rid of, and you make a trade to get the major piece that you need for the club. Simply because what this does is it satisfies Tibbs for one, because we still unsure if he's going to play these young guys. I'm not saying give up on the young guys, but we got a lot of young guys on the squad now. And we just went through that issue with Tibbs not giving them enough minutes and not playing enough. So if we want to address that, if Mark Williams is there, then you can move Mitch, and then you can use your other assets to get your other pieces that are there. I really believe the 11th pick is a blessing in the sense that it is got value if you add another player to that to get a trade. So I just look at it as if the right player is not there available, then you package that pick to get the exact player for Tibbs, which will make the team run a lot better.
So can I ask you a question? Is trading the pick not an option at all for any one of you guys?
Oh no, it's an option. It's an option, because I don't know if the thing is, everything is an option. Whether or not it makes sense to do it is another. And of course, the Knicks are going to explore, but if the Knicks aren't getting any good feedback for what that trade of the pick can do for them, then they're going to wind up keeping it. Because remember, 11 is not as sexy to a lot of teams. It's not even in the top 10. So teams want to be able to move up and get assets that might be projected to be higher and give you a little bit more impact for your organization right away. 11, you don't know. It's anything can happen. I mean, Donovan Mitchell was the 13th pick in the draft in his year. So you can get guys that could become studs at 11. I think we went through, it was on Twitter. I mentioned it the other day. There's guys who were drafted at 11 who have turned out to be real good NBA players. So there's definitely guys you can get at 11. It's just it depends on how teams deal with the Knicks, and this goes back to the front office and Leon Rose's relationships, how he's able to get good offers and how the people look at the Knicks for their talent. Because, you know, once again, we're Knicks fans. We value our talent a certain way. We like what we got. That doesn't mean the rest of the NBA likes what we got. And, you know, they're looking for certain things. So it depends. Everything's on the table. I'm just saying we might be stuck with that 11th pick if it doesn't look good for us for what we're trying to do. Unless they, you know, the other thing is we've never seen it. The Knicks could get aggressive and take that 11 and move up to 6, 7 or something like that and get somebody that they really want. We don't know. And that's why I'm saying this is why I say don't be so tied into guys, because nobody on this team is untouchable except for RJ. And even RJ has a price. Because if you're telling me, I mean, we all know that. I mean, if Luka was coming, RJ's going. So like it just depends on who it is, but RJ's the most untouchable. But everybody else.
Ron, I got a question before you go any further. Do you think it's realistic that Tibbs would actually want to move up to get ready to play a younger player with the way his style of play is?
This is where it doesn't matter what Tibbs wants. You could say Tibbs is going to coach the way he's going to coach. You got to try to give Tibbs the players that he wants, that he's looking for. But when it comes to how the franchise and the organization is going to move and what they're going to actually do in the draft and stuff like that's the organization. Leon Rose, that's your baby. You can consult with Tibbs. Look, this is what we're thinking about. But Leon Rose got to make that decision. That's why he's here. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what Tibbs wants. If Tibbs says, hey, I want you guys to see if you can bring in, you know, I don't know, Jaden Ivey. Not that he would want that. I'm just saying it's up to Leon Rose to say, well, you know, we can try to get Jaden Ivey, but, you know, I don't know if it's going to happen. What we can do is bring in, we can get you a Johnny Davis. How's that sound? And that's how they got to work it.
Yeah, and they interviewed both Johnny Davis and Ivy over the weekend.
Right.
So they're looking at Johnny Davis. That's why I'm so high on Johnny Davis, because he is a Tibbs guy. He is a Tibbs guy, and he's a front office Leon Rose guy. I actually compared Johnny Davis and Ivy to, remember Sidney Dean and Billy Ho?
Like they can't jump.
Yeah. So do you want the shifty guy, the athletic guy, or do you want the guy with the high IQ to thread the needle, make the right passes, you know, deadly in the midi type comparison? And to me, Johnny Davis was hurt, you know, all year, so that's why a lot of his production fell off through the through March Madness. He was double teamed all season. He was the guy on the team that, you know, they had to prepare for. And when Johnny Davis and Ivy went head up, Johnny Davis guarded Ivy and got the best of him while Ivy guarded somebody else on Johnny Davis's team, though. So he stood up to the plate and took the challenge when, you know, it was time for them to go toe to toe. So that's why I take Johnny Davis over Ivy as far as that. I just want more team ball, you know. If you get Ivy, you're gonna see a lot of one-on-one. You know, you're gonna be guys standing around watching him get to the cup, things like that. You know, I want more unselfishness team ball. That's why I have Johnny Davis a lot higher.
All right. Let me ask you guys this. So, you know what? Actually, before I do that, let me give you mine because I don't think I weighed in. It's tough because there's so many players that I think could fit the Knicks. I don't know. I think, honestly, my pick is Benedict Mathurin. I don't think he'll be there at 11. So, if you're moving away from him, I'm really torn between. I know people like Jeremy Sochan or Sochan, however you want to say it. I don't mind him being a part of the Knicks, right? I think he can add some value, but there's other guys that I like a little bit more than him. So if you're telling me that Benedict is not going to be there and the Knicks don't somehow trade up to get him, because I don't even know if that, like, you know, I don't know. I'm going to, in between now and next week, because next Sunday, guys, we're going to do the second part of our draft series with my man D Poetic, aka D is Ballin', and my boy Prophet from Feet Sports. We're going to look a little bit deeper into what's going on with draft, but I'm also going to be looking into the negatives about some of these guys, like Benedict Mather. What's his negatives? Because we see the positives. You don't get to highlight the negatives. And I'm not doing all that research personally as far as putting videos together. I'll go somewhere else and watch somebody else's videos and break it down, and I'll see if I agree or disagree, and then we'll comment on stuff like that. So I want to see the good and bad of all these players so I can really see who I like. But to me, it's Benedict Mathurin, it's Tyra Eason, it's Johnny Davis. Those are the three guys that are top of my list for the Knicks at that 11th spot. And of course, if Dyson Daniels is there, he's there too. But I don't think Dyson's going to be there. I think Dyson's going to be gone. I think Mathurin's going to be gone. So I think you'll be stuck with Tyra Eason and Johnny Davis. And then you got to figure out, well, who really fits this team and what we're trying to do. And if Mitch comes back, there's no need for Tyra Eason. But you won't really know. We're not sure if we'll know by June 23rd because the draft is prior to the free agent signing period. So then, like, you know what I mean? Unless Mitch tells the Knicks, I'm definitely signing with you guys. We inked it. It's good. That might tell you guys something. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to figure out. But if I had to pick one between Tyra Eason and Johnny Davis, I might go Johnny Davis, and I might wind up flipping Quentin Grimes for something else. I know, guys, I'm giving up on one of our young pups, but I'm just saying, like, I could see value there, and you go for the value with Johnny Davis, and if you can use Quentin Grimes to help you get someone else, get Noel out of here, and package him with Burks, or whatever you got to do, some other picks, and go get you someone else you're looking for to help the team. You got to figure out ways to maneuver, man. It's a business. All right. So that being said, guys, let me go to Jay Boogie. What do you think about? So we talked about Mo Bamba, and if you want to weigh in on Mo Bamba, feel free. We talked about Mo Bamba a little bit. What do you think about the whole thing of Mo Bamba looking like he's trying to recruit Donovan Mitchell to come to the Knicks?
I mean, I love it. He's starting to notice that it might not be a future in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? They know one another. I mean, I love it because, if you let everybody else tell it, the Gundys and all these Reggies and all that, they trying to get people to tell, nah, don't go to New York. So, I love when people say, yo, meet me there. I'm coming. Are you going? I love when they talk about that. You know what I'm saying? That's a good outlook for us, in the city. And it goes to show that's why I referred to Ross Strickland about in-house. It goes to show that people that are from New York, that are either playing in New York or either commentating, on these shows, these sports channels and stuff, they don't like the situation about being talked about of how New York is. They don't. You think they like Kenny Smith really like answering these? No, they don't. So it's a good thing to see that some of these guys, they're speaking out and thinking about coming home and all that. You know what I'm saying? I love the scenario, man. I love the scenario. That's why, I'm one of the ones that really wanted, like, Mark Jackson, somebody like that to come here, because I know these people, they want to win. They would do whatever it takes to win because they're from here and they're tired of people talking about the city. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not a basketball. Like we should sell the team and be playing somewhere else, and New York should not have a New York Knicks team, a New York team. You know what I'm saying? And I love the situation. I appreciate Bamba, you know what I'm saying? He reaching out. I appreciate he letting them know that, yo, if free agency comes and Mitch goes and y'all don't get a big, give me a call. I'm here. I'm willing and I want to come home. You know what I'm saying? That's a good sign. I love the situation. Y'all talked about trading up. I don't mind trading up. But if you come to me talking to me about touching anything as far as that next 23 pick, draft picks or nothing, I'm not even picking up the phone. Some of these guys, if I'm not moving all the way up to the number 4, I'm an Ivy guy. Because I do believe when he transformed from college, when they playing 1-2-2s, 1-3-1s, 2-3s, and all that, slowing his game down. When he get in this one-on-one league, his game is going to take off a whole lot more. And I like Davis' game some, but I look at his ball handling skills is real low, beating the man in front of you. You know, a lot of these guys on our team, they can't get by you unless they get a pick. We need to stop that. If you look at the playoffs right now, it's skill on skill. When they see your timeouts called enough and they know your play, it's man on man, skill on skill. Let me bust you. Sometime point in time, you're gonna need them type guys that gonna bust whoever's in front of you. You in front of me? I ain't got no pick. Move, get out the way. And I just believe that Ivy is one of them type guys, 6'4", 6'5", 40-inch vertical, explosive, can get to the rim, right, left, right, dunk on you. And he said he's working on his mid-range a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Those type guys, you know what I'm saying? The 1, 2, 3, 4, you know where their game should be at. Everybody else, to me, is pretty much a puzzle. You don't know what Sharp gonna be because you haven't seen him. We like him because we like his highlights, but everybody else got some type of issue or something going on with the game, as well as the guys in the top 4, them two. But like my man in Baylor, I think he's like 32% from the 3-point line, catch and shoot, 50-something% from the free throw line. I can't have nobody shooting worse than RJ on our team. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of situations that, you know, we got to look in and take heed. You know, if nobody's there, I'm quite sure somebody will want to pick a big man or somewhere up in that area that maybe we could trade out and get something from for next year's draft. You know what I'm saying? Or something. You know what I'm saying? And then use some of our second round picks. Tim Hardaway, you got a job. See what you can do. You know what I'm saying? It's not really that many guys that's in this thing right now. Because if you are, you know this is a weak combine. Why you not in there busting somebody, raising up your stock? You scared one of these 3 guys that's on this combine, you know what I'm saying, go take your spot or something? I look at that boy, Andrew Herbin, the point guard out of Gonzaga, first game, 26 points and 11 assists. Off rip, off top. I'm out here. I'm trying to raise my stock. That's what Bones Holland did. And it showed off. They ain't even got that boy Andrew nowhere in the first round, but he keep doing what he doing. He going to slide up there somewhere, you know. But it's a lot of. I'm just gonna have to wait and see, man.
There's a lot of that, man.
There's a lot going
on. And you know the other thing that it's tough, Jay Boogie, because I know they're hyping up this 2023 draft so much. Because the players that are coming out should be better than this draft. And then you got the high school class that's just going to add even more value to it. So maybe top 20 pick isn't the end all be all. Maybe top 30 in the first round, you still getting yourself a really good player. So I get it. Because the other thing is you got to understand the Dallas pick that we got is not going to be a lottery pick. Dallas is a good team now. So that pick is going to fall out of the lottery. It's going to be a higher pick. And most likely, you know, if Dallas is anything like what they were this year, it's going to be a real low, like in the 20s type pick, which in that draft, it still could be a very good pick.
That's right.
Then you got the Knicks pick, who we're hoping they make the playoffs. So their pick might not even be a lottery pick. It might not even be in the top 14. It could be somewhere in the top 20, something like that, like 15 to 20 or something. So it is, you know, it's tough. It's tough to say, you know, I guess you got to really see what's available to the Knicks. And keep in mind that even if the Knicks do trade, I know you know this, but just saying that to everybody, even if the Knicks do decide to trade that Dallas pick, which is going to be a lot lower pick, lot higher pick, I should say, or lower, you know what I mean? They still keep their own pick because they can't trade both picks. You got to keep, you know, one of these. You're gonna keep one of them. You're not going to trade both of them. So the Knicks get to keep their first round pick, and we'll still have a shot at getting somebody. I don't know. It's tough to say. What I was going to say before is someone said something, and it triggered something for me. Oh, Agbaji. Yeah,
I was going to interrupt you, but when you said it was something else, I know how you be like with your train of thought. I said I'm gonna leave you alone. But if he talking about Agbaji, allow me, please. I'm a Jayhawk.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
You know, I'm a Jayhawk. That's why Grimes got up out of there. That's why Grimes got up out of there because of that boy. And then he went to the compound last year, seeing what he needed to do, what he needed to work on, everything. He went back to school. You know what I'm saying? And he developed those things. You know what I'm saying? What, 6'5", 6'6", somewhere around there. He can shoot the mid-range. He can shoot the long ball. He can get to the rack, left hand, right hand. He plays deep, and he got hard. Player of the year, MVP, Final Four, and a champion. Those are the type players that you want on your team. If you had 11 and you want to pick a senior that's up and ready to go, like what's the old boy that went to the Indiana Pacers, Dumont, whatever his name is, that came from Baylor last year, or whatever, the light skin, Dubai, I can't think of his name, but
why can't I think of his name? And I just had it on, man, Duarte.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to go, man. He's ready to go. But this is a weak draft, and Sim said something that was real important. If you in this combine and you decide that you're not ready in this weak draft and this weak combine, you decide to turn around and go back to school, make sure you get your degree. Pretty much your career is over with. Because after this season year, them high school boys are coming in, you're pretty much, if you can't make it in this draft pick right here, you're not made for the NBA. You decide to go back to school. I'm just throwing that out there.
I hear that. I mean, that's not a bad take, man. You know, got to be smart about it, man. And sometimes the NBA ain't for everybody. You know the amount of people that make it. It's tough. It's tough. Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up real quick about Mark Jackson. Look, I don't know what Mark Jackson did. I think it's great that he has an ESPN job. Maybe at some point he just needs to say, look, this is going to be my thing. I'm going to take this to the next level. Because whatever Mark Jackson did, he put a black stain on his coaching career. I don't know if he's ever going to get up out of there. Subliminal was saying he interviewed for the Lakers job. If Mark Jackson don't get this Laker job, I think it's over for Mark Jackson. I don't know if he's ever going to get a head coaching job. He might get a college coaching job or something, but in the NBA, if he can't coach the Kings, and he can, like some of these teams, you can't give the coaching job to Mark Jackson. There's obviously he got something, he blacklisted, something he did. We know everything about this is not even the topic of the show, but I'm just throwing it out because he's a former Knick, and his time with the Knicks was great. I loved him as a player. I hated him when he went to Indiana, with his little shimmy and stuff. He made me sick.
Teardrop floater.
Yeah, come on, man. I hated that. But I give him credit for what he did. With that. Right. Yeah. So, but I will say that his talks and the way he tried to incorporate religion into the organization with the Warriors, which to me, even though I guess some people, it rubbed them the wrong way, how overly religious he was. If you remember, guys, when Mark Jackson left and Kirk came in, a lot of them players kept some of them religious principles. Like they were huddling, they were praying. Steph Curry was very religious. Klay Thompson, they did their thing with regards to that. So it's not like he did something that was horrible. I think he just tried to introduce it to too many people in the organization and tried to change something. And maybe he was trying to create a movement of some sort. But the other thing is I hear that apparently the organization itself, like staff, everybody around was scared of Mark Jackson. He had a certain type of bedside manner that people didn't like. He rubbed people the wrong way.
It's only fit for New York, man.
Yeah. So
that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? And actually, for real, we need to stop doing that, because when we did that, talking about Mark or what about it, we did the same thing with Jason Kidd. And we don't want to bring him back. He was drunk. He hitting fire. He running over. You know what I'm saying? He out of control. But what did Jason Kidd do? Let me break it down to you. He's the reason why Giannis, you know what I'm saying, the dumb way he's doing. You know what I'm saying? The Greek. He's the reason why Middleton is the player he is. Let me break it down a little bit more. He's the reason why Luka Donovan is doing what he's doing this year, even though he has some of those skills, but he don't develop him a whole lot more. Matter of fact, I'm missing one. Let me go ahead a little bit further. Brunson, don't take this deal. I'm going to get you right at the end of the season. I'm going to raise your stock. He got Brunson right. You know what I'm saying? So all these guys that have situations going on don't mean they can't coach. Don't mean they can't develop. And we got to stop looking at what somebody did or what they can't do and start looking at the things they can do and the good things they have about their game. This person, he can't shoot trades. He can only dribble, so we ain't going to take him. You know what I'm saying? You can develop that. We got to stop looking at the things that they can't do and start admiring and appreciate the things they can do, man. Jason Kidd could have been one of our coaches. And you know what I'm saying? He might not be as great as coaching X's and O's and defense as Tom, but that man can coach, know the game. He's a champion, and he can develop. That's more important than anything. Anything. We just need to stop looking at what somebody did or what they can't do and using that against us and making an excuse why we didn't go get him.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, and you
Yeah,
know,
and
I just want
to say,
Go ahead,
I just want to say this, man. You know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna completely say what it is because it's your channel,
Right.
and you know how YouTube is. YouTube sensitive when it comes to certain things. But you know, Mark Jackson made a statement about a certain entity.
right.
Rather,
Yeah, I know what
you
you're
know
talking
what I mean?
about.
And, you know, it kind of stirred things the wrong way. So I think there's a mandate within the league to like blackball him as far as the coaching job goes. Because Steve Mills and Perry, they had a chance to sign him as a coach. They had their chance before Leon Rose was in the mix. They had the opportunity to get Mark Jackson. It was between Mark Jackson. I forgot who else. Was it Phil Jackson? It was somebody else.
No,
but
no, I don't remember now. Oh man,
You
yeah.
remember? Because Mark Jackson interviewed with them.
It was Mark. It was a couple different people. It was Mark Jackson. It was remember the coach that coached the Cleveland Cavaliers and did a wonderful job, and they had a winning season, and LeBron ran him up out of there. The European coach.
Oh, you talking about the Europe? Yeah. I can't think of his
That
name. I
dude
know
did
you're talking about.
nothing wrong, and LeBron ran him up out of there, bro.
Ran
He's
him up
one of
out
the
of there.
winningest coaches in Europe basketball history.
Yes.
Came to the Cavaliers, had a winning season with them, and LeBron ran him up out of there. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, it was him. It was a couple other guys, but it was good. It was good coaching prospects that the Knicks were looking at that time.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in on that Mark Jackson thing. I think the NBA has got something.
David Black,
going
thank
on
you,
with that.
Cully. Appreciate that. Sorry, Marvin.
That's okay. I think the NBA's really got something involved in that because as good as he coaches he is, I believe he'd have been and had a job. So we just have to wait and see. See if he don't get. I'm with you on that one, Ron. If he don't get a job this year, I think he's done.
But you gotta admit, nobody don't want to go to Sacramento. I wouldn't want to go there. No players want to go there. I'm gonna look that one off too if I'm Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
you got
that's
a point.
crazy.
Well, hasn't it been said that Johnny Davis was going to Sacramento already?
No. Sacramento got the 4th pick. I don't think you jumping out the window.
No. I mean the coach.
Oh, the coach Johnny Davis. I'm bugging. Sorry, my fault. Johnny Bryant.
I believe it was already reported that he was gonna take that job.
You mean Johnny Bryant from the Knicks?
Johnny Bryant? I'm sorry. Yeah.
You said Sacramento. Old boy from Golden State taking that job.
Yeah. What's his name?
Brown, right? Isn't it?
Brown.
Yeah. Brown got the job.
Yeah, Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. I just wanted to comment on that because I just think that the Mark Jackson situation is wild, but it is what it is. So, that's what I wanted. Damn, before I move on, I almost forgot. Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with you. You know how we are here, Jay Boogie. You know how Knicks fans are, and how the media and people look at players and how we treat coaches and all this stuff. But I will say, and I know this is probably the only person I'll say this for. I think Jason Kidd warranted whatever he got, and I think actually going through all that helped him wise up and get his act together and really, because listen, I don't know if you guys, especially some of the younger people, know that much about Jason Kidd. First off, Jason Kidd was an incredible basketball player. In Cal, this dude was like Mr. Triple-Double. He came into the league, took the league by storm. He was flashy. He was Showtime. He was like a smaller Magic Johnson the way he came into the league. He couldn't shoot, but he could get triple-doubles. And then as his age progressed and his basketball smarts progressed, he kept working on three-point shooting. I've never seen something like this. This dude couldn't shoot, but still would get you triple-doubles. He was like Westbrook before Westbrook, right? Better than Westbrook at triple-doubles at that time. Now, Westbrook, of course, he turned into Oscar Robertson with this thing, so it is what it is. But the point is, Jason Kidd changed his game, started shooting the three ball. Not only did he become one of the best in the league, like percentage points wise, he's one of the best in the NBA at shooting threes, and the dude couldn't shoot. So I give him mad credits to his game and what he turned into. But the one thing I will say about Jason Kidd, he's a man now, so I don't want this to come off of disrespect. I'm another man calling another man, but he was a knucklehead. Okay,
Yeah.
Jason Kidd had a certain type of mentality. He was one of those guys like, you know how you see movies, or I never went away to college, but there's like the jock on campus that everybody, he could do whatever he wants. Everybody, Jason Kidd had that type of mentality. He was very clownish with the stuff he did. He was a ladies' man. You know, he had that whole thing with Jimmy Jackson back in the day. With I don't know, was it Halle Berry? I think it was.
I think it was
Halle Berry that they were both dating at the same time.
Yeah.
They got into a big thing. It was a fight, all types of stuff, right?
And Jamal would be saying, "Give me the ball, man."
right. So, like, you know, he's always had a little bit. He's a little bit of a clown with stuff. But remember the time where he was coaching? Was he coaching the Nets? And he had one of the players bump him, and he spilt the ice and the water on the court.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
Jason Kidd got a wild personality, y'all. So he's come a long way. No, thank you. My fault. Look at the chat. Yo, the chat is real, but y'all ain't playing. Earl Yates and Ron Son. It was Tony Braxton. Right. And Tony Braxton dissed Jason Kidd and chose Jimmy Jackson.
Yeah, salute to the chat, man.
Man, y'all all
Greatest
over
people,
it, bro.
Greatest people. The
Yeah,
greatest.
I remember that because now once she said it, I remember. Plus, she talked about it in an interview. Anyway, so the point was Jason Kidd just has that type of mentality, but as he's gotten older, he's much more serious about coaching, his basketball X's and O's, and if you see what Dallas is doing, his mentality is taken to the next level. He's a little wiser, more mature, and he's just worried about doing what he's got to do. And I think it translates, man. I think that's why Dallas is doing so well. And he's been coaching for so long. He knows his guys like that who are great NBA players.
Mhm.
They're good because they're consistent. They have a work ethic, and they learn from things that are happening on the court. So as a coach, you would assume that a guy with that type of mentality, he can learn as he's coaching. And now I think you're starting to see that Jason Kidd gets it. So I think all that he needed to go through. He's one guy I think he needed to go through all that, J Boogie. But yeah, man, that's all I had to say about that, because I remember those days. That was a wild time. Kaiser Soze said the Knicks should have signed Kenny Atkinson instead of Tibbs when they had the chance. Listen, man, Kenny Atkinson is another one for whatever reason. I don't know if he was a bad coach or people didn't like certain things. I thought he was pretty good with the Nets, but he hasn't been able to get a job ever since. I don't know what that says about him. Could Kenny Atkinson coach the Sacramento Kings? Of course he could. I don't know why he didn't get that job. I don't know why. Well, the Lakers, I'm not even going to talk about the Lakers. You go into the Lakers while LeBron's there. LeBron, you got to be one of LeBron's guys, because we know who the real coach is over there in LA. Yeah, so
but but that show that didn't work because LeBron said Tyrone, and they said, okay, we're gonna get Tyrone to staff. And Tyrone said, nah. So, that year it didn't work with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Not getting this man because, whoa, Tyrone Lue, boy.
That's a fact, man. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. I
don't know what that was about.
Let me ask a question. Do y'all forgive Jeff Van Gundy? Because I seen his name floating around like 2-3 years ago, along with Mark Jackson, as far as being the head coach.
Yeah, I mean, I'm give you my take real quick. Jeff Van Gundy did nothing to me as a Knicks fan. I love Jeff Van Gundy. I think Jeff Van Gundy probably, did he handle the situation well? No. But remember, Jeff Van Gundy is one of the first coaches to really have to go back and forth with James Dolan. He got the worst of James Dolan in James Dolan's prime of being a horrible owner and what he was doing. Van Gundy got all of that. Like, if Van Gundy was here now, and it would be a totally different thing because Dolan is so hands off. He's gone through all that. Dolan's realized his mistakes, but Van Gundy got all of that before Dolan was younger. He didn't care what you said to him. He was a billionaire. He was the man. So they was going back and forth a lot during those days. It was just bad timing. Van Gundy got it at the worst time. He didn't like it. He couldn't deal with that the way Dolan was acting, and unfortunately, it was a bad exit. I don't know how y'all feel about Van Gundy, but I never had any issues with him.
I like Van Gundy. You know what I mean? He was a defensive first coach. You know what I mean? what Pat Riley did for us as far as installing a certain mentality in us. Jeff Van Gundy carried that torch. So yeah, I like Van Gundy.
Although I will say that I don't know, even as much as I loved Van Gundy and what he did during the 90s, his basketball principles and all that, Van Gundy and his brother Stan, they're from that old school regime. So I don't know if either of them understands how to coach in today's NBA. We've seen Van Gundy coach after the Knicks with Houston. It boiled over and didn't work out over there. And I don't know if he got another job after that coaching, but his mentality and his principles on the way they do things is a lot different from how the NBA is today. So I don't know if it translates. I don't know if he's a part of that old school that he can make adjustments. You know, that's the thing you run into with those coaches from that era. That's the same thing we're dealing with Tibbs. So I don't know if he would be great at this point.
Valid point. Good point.
I gotta send a quick shout out to my man Double J, JJ, my man from Cardoza High, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy right there. We Cardoza guys, you know what I'm saying? we was orange and blue before, you know what I'm saying, the orange and blue, you know. We just go orange and blue everywhere, man. That's my guy, man. And shout out to everybody, man. Y'all throw your high schoolers in sometime, man. Let us know where you came from, man.
Man, you don't want me throwing my high school in there. My high school was an all-boys school. Then it was an all-girls school. Then it was unisex.
Find out you went to Edison.
I went to Norman Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's worse than Edison.
Marketing and business, man.
Hey. It's so why you're a businessman right now, though.
Hey, well, you know, listen, but my school's gone. Actually, they closed that puppy down. So I was like,
wow,
that's what it is. Anyway, so that's the thing, guys. Like, I think that Knicks got a lot to think about with regards to what they're doing here, and the other thing you got to consider is, honestly, we know that most likely Julius Randle is not going anywhere. I mean, so what do we got to do to not only get the best out of Julius Randle, but make him happy? And that's another thing that Leon Rose and this Knicks organization has to figure out. Because as much as Julius messed up last year, and I'm one of those people that want him out of here, most likely he's going to be here. So how do we make it work and not hurt RJ? Because RJ, this is RJ's team going forward. How do we make everything work so that it doesn't affect RJ? RJ needs to get in the lab and continue to get better. Them free throws, I need 10% more free throw shooting. So if you at 60, I don't know what he was, 60 something, you need to be at 70 something. Whatever it is, you got to improve. And he's got to do what he's got to do. And I know he's going to. He's going to work. He just got to get that consistency. Because let me tell you, if RJ can't shoot 70% from the free throw line next year, I'm going to have to look at RJ with the side eye. Because there's no reason. He got the form, and we've seen him shoot 40% from three 1 year. You can do that. You can shoot a set free throw shot with nobody guarding you. Like, come on, man, let's get it together. Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is what do you think about, Tibbs is at the draft, the combine, whatever you want to call it, and he's looking at these players. I don't even know if this is Tibbs' bag, if he likes doing this stuff or whatever, but he definitely got to go to represent the Knicks. What do you guys think about the fact that, I mean, of course, I'm sure he does this but they highlighted the fact that him and AJ Griffin had a conversation, and you know that whole Duke connection that the Knicks have. What do you guys think about, or would you be upset if the Knicks drafted? I'm not even saying he'll be there, but if AJ Griffin fell, or I wouldn't be surprised. Knicks do some wild stuff. What if the Knicks moved up for AJ Griffin? Like, I don't know. Well, how would you feel about AJ Griffin on the Knicks, Marvin?
Yeah.
Well, do you know about AJ Griffin?
I hadn't followed him very much. I let the other guys go. I'm gonna look him up and see
Okay.
how he
All right. What about you, Don P?
Yeah, I'm gonna be lying if I told you that I was familiar with him. I'm not really familiar with AJ Griffin like that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you this. AJ Griffin is a player that is 6'6", and he has a really big body frame. He's not fat, like just a big. He's a who does he compare to? Because he's got a unique frame. He's a big boy.
D'Angelo?
No,
The other one?
Who? D'Angelo Russell?
No, not D'Angelo Russell. Leandro. Who is it? You got the Ball brothers, the middle child.
No, he's bigger.
He's bigger.
Like he's solid. Like he's muscle type. He's solid.
Like a cage.
Oh, you know what? Maybe his frame is like the dude.
He's like an unathletic Clyde Drexler.
Yeah. I think I got it. I know who his frame is kind of like these days. What's his name from Indiana Pacers? Who famous for blowing the kiss in LeBron's ear or
Oh, you talking about our homeboy?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Stay on Stevenson. Lance Stevenson. He's got a frame like Lance Stevenson. Okay, and he is actually a pretty good shooter, and he's a very good defender, but he's not an above the rim player. He shot 44% from the 3-point line, 49% from the field, 54% from 2-point shots, and he shot 79% from the free throw. So he can shoot. He averaged 10 points for Duke. And like I said, he's a really good defender. He's just a below the rim type player, not really above the rim. And he's got a big frame. You know.
Well, Ron,
what do you think about that?
Is that number 6'6"? Does that scare you away? How many players on the Knicks are 6'6" and 6'8", 6'9"? I mean, is that the necessary position or size that you're looking for?
I mean, I would love 6'6", 6'7". Doesn't scare me. I mean, Grimes is 6'4". RJ's 6. I mean, he's 6'6", still listed.
6'6", 220.
Yeah. So I mean, that the size don't scare me for the position that he'll play. I'm not. I don't know, man. The Knicks might be a guy that Thibodeau likes.
What position does he play?
I mean, he's a guard / small forward.
Oh, okay.
I mean, here's the thing though. Like, again, we already have RJ. You know what I mean? We have RJ. RJ 6'6". He already playing out of position at the 3. You know what I mean? We still have Cam Reddish at the time, and we traded a draft pick for him, so it would behoove them to at least give him some minutes to show what he can do. So if we're gonna trade him by the trade deadline, he has some value to him. You know what I mean? It could be a win for us if he really is good. So as far as like getting a player that's 6'6" and who's not athletic, I mean, we have RJ ready. You know what I mean? We have Quentin Grimes, we have Evan Fournier. I mean, me personally, I'm a stickler when it comes to being undersized at your position, especially now. You know what I mean? I always cite the Raptors. If you check out Doc Rivers' interviews, when he does lose to the Raptors, it's like that team has him losing sleep at night about their length. That team to me is the future when it comes to how teams should be building in the future. Mm-hmm. So like anybody who's undersized for their position, I'm not really feeling like that. That's just where I'm at with it.
No, I hear that. That makes sense.
Ron, what is your projection of what slot you think he's coming out? If you say the Knicks are going to move up to get him?
No. I if I was the Knicks, I wouldn't move up to get him. I just could see the Knicks doing something wild like that. If the Knicks moved up, I think we'd be shocked at who they'd move up for, because I don't know how they think.
Then James need to fire them the very next day.
Right. I don't know. Like, AJ Griffin is a player. Look, if you drafting and he falls to you in your slot, you could do worse than AJ Griffin. He's not a bad player. He's just not, an above the rim type player. He's not very athletic. His frame, he's got a big frame now. And, historically, guys, you come into the league a certain weight, and as time, Father Time catches up, you get older, your frame gets a little bigger. So I just don't know how that's going to translate. But he's still a player you can look at, and I think Cully Bane is another way, like you know how Bane is very kind of muscular with his frame. He's kind of like a Bane too, that size. But Cully said that he reminds me of a Ben Gordon. I could see that, like a Ben Gordon, but I don't know. See, the thing about Duke players, guys, is I've been a Duke fan since I was very young, since the Bobby Hurley days and Grant Hill and all these dudes, Christian Laettner. Duke teams will highlight their best players and you see what they can do, but sometimes that system holds them back. So you don't know exactly how good these guys can become. We saw Grant Hill was good in Duke, but when he came into the NBA, it was like, what? This dude was catching alleys with his left, doing all types of stuff. He got commercials. Like he turned into something else. And that happens with a lot of these Duke guys in their system. AJ could turn into be a lot more solid than we think he is. That shooting translates, man. When you can shoot good from the field and from the free throw line and three, all threes, levels, that's pretty good. So
he can knock that thing down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's like,
Ron,
you never know.
If you didn't mind, Ron, I wanted to ask Jay Boogie get his take on one thing that we had spoke about earlier on the show. Jay Boogie, what do you think about the assumption of if Mitch leaves, then go ahead and run in with Noel and Sims and averting your money into a different position that's widely needed for the Knicks? Do you think that's realistic?
Well, if Sims, if first thing first,
if Mitch leaves,
the office need to be having a conversation with Mitch off top. If you want to leave, then you're saying you want to take and go get more money than what, we think you're worth or what we can pay you. So being that you want to leave, you go somewhere else. First thing first, you got to understand this, Mitch. Get them to do a sign and trade because we can give you the 5th year. Without us signing the trade, you can go get the 4th year. How much more money you want? So that's first thing first. The office need to plug in Mitch. Hey, if you're going somewhere, you need to tell them, sign a trade. I need 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Or just come back for the 4th year if you ain't gonna do that. But I'm not doing nothing with Noel. Now you can take your hair grease or your headbands, all that dumb stuff you was wearing and not helping participate, talking to the players and showing them nothing until the last 3-4 games. You had the nerve to be standing out there throwing T-shirts up in the crowd like you've been a part of. No, get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Get up out of here. Then I like Sims' game. He got a lot to learn, but he's teachable and he's learnable and he's like Obi. He's not going to talk back. So when Tom is getting in their grill and in their face, if you notice, Obi and Sims, they ain't talk back. You know what I'm saying? Like the other day when Boston game 1 and the coach was yelling and screaming at Williams and he going right back and forth back. You don't want that. Stand there and listen to what I'm trying to tell you, whether it's right or wrong or you like it or not. That shows a lot of discipline. So that shows Sims has a whole lot, coming for him in the future. But that's why I said earlier, I really wish, and this is Sims' word, and I'm just repeating what he said, it would really look good if they done free agency before the draft and you know what you have and what you can do as far as if Mitch is leaving or not. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not cool with Noel. Sims, I need some more help. Todd, it's time to go. All that, it's time to go. Sims is a young guy, but he's not ready to be a starter. He's not ready. You know what I'm saying? We got to continue on developing him. But I'm going to need to bring somebody in that can, show him and bring him along the way as they're going. You know what I'm saying? But if we lose Mitch, man, go take this 5 year, man, go somewhere else, man. But we need other bigs. That's why I'm on Mark Williams.
Yeah, you need something in return. I understand. Okay. But you're not in. So Noel, in your eyes, he needs to go, period.
Yeah, you got to get up out of here, man. I don't want to see your braids, none of that, man. I don't want to see your headband, none of that. Give Frank Nikita back that headband that he left. Get up out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
Now you mentioned something about Julius Randle not going anywhere, and what can we do to make him happier, right, or make him more comfortable?
Right.
I mean, honestly, that's the point right there. I feel like I said this plenty of times. Like he had all the room in the world to make all these type of mistakes. You know what I mean? He had the keys to the basketball team. He was He had the role of facilitating. He had all of that. What more can we do with him? I mean, that's the real question. Like, what more can we do with somebody like Julius Randle? And I think the narrative of, and I'm not saying you saying this, but the narrative of we're hating on Julius Randle because of his poor play, I think that's a false narrative. I think the disconnect between the fans and Julius Randle is not because of his poor play, but more because of his attitude and his body language as a result of his poor play. You know what I mean? So like that's just what it is. And it's like he can't afford that. Oh, you know, he had 2 years of good season, he had one bad season, and we supposed to forgive him. He was trash for us the last 2 years before he was good for us that 1 year.
Right.
So I mean, my thing is like, why wouldn't they let him go?
Yeah, I think the issue is his value is not right now. His value is not realistically what it should be because of all the issues that we saw take place, the verbal things, you know, his mental, what was going on with him, and how he handled himself. He really downgraded and lowered his value. Of course, you could say some of his basketball play goes with that too, but I think Julius is much better than it looked towards the end of the season. And right now, you know, around the NBA, they're gonna try to sucker the Knicks. They're gonna try to get Julius for nothing, and that's stupid. You can't do that. He was a most improved player for a reason. And as much as his season didn't translate the way we liked it to, the way we thought it could be because of what he did the year before, I mean, let me just do this because, you know, I want to be better, Sherwin. This is for you. I want to be better. Let me see. Oh, no. Hold on. I apologize, guys. Give me one more second because I'm trying to make my point here, but somehow I pulled up Julius Randle's Kentucky numbers. I don't even know how I did that. I couldn't do that if I tried. Okay.
His numbers didn't fall off very far, is what I'm pretty sure.
He finished with 20 points per game, 9.9 rebounds, and 5 assists. 20 points, 9. I mean, let's just say 9.9 is 10. Okay. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. 20, 10, and 5 is nice numbers. I don't care who you are. Now, and this was in a bad season for Julius. So that's what I'm saying. Like, teams are going to try to take advantage. The Knicks try to move Julius. They're going to try to take advantage and not give up anything that we would really want for him. So the Knicks got to weigh all that. And that's why I say I don't think he's going anywhere because the Knicks ain't just going to give Julius away. And his contract is favorable. Like, it's too many pluses there. You can't just trade a Julius Randle away just to get him out of here and get nothing. And then he's got a good contract too that doesn't really hurt another team. You gotta play it out the right way. That's why I say he's probably going to be here, even though I would want to move him. That's me. But sometimes,
and Ryan, me and you had that discussion not long ago. How does this affect Obi? I mean, it's obvious that Tibbs is going to be there, and that's Randle is, Tibbs is one of Randle's kind of people. And how does this affect Obi?
Right.
So, it shouldn't even affect Obi like that for real. If Julius is here, because when you look around the league right now, especially in the East, you only got Embiid. I think Embiid is the only big. You know what I'm saying? That you need to make sure you have a big for in the East, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? So there are ways that they can be brought and put together and they can play, but that's up to Tom. You know, he got to figure that out. We can't have the same season.
Yes.
And be like, you know what I'm saying? Like when Julius had his first bad year, we knew to get him up out of here. So we drafted Obi, but you didn't get him up out of here. Julius turned into a monster. Then come this year, Julius has a bad season. It's almost like drafting Obi all over again. You got to figure this out. And I believe that the mind game is more important than anything. Me personally, what I would have done with Julius this year, first thing first, I'd have made him get back comfortable. I'd send Julius Randle over there to the lottery. Make them feel like this is your team. See, last year, and I ain't making an excuse for him, but we did so many different scenarios to where we didn't show that this was your team, Julius. We didn't show him. We didn't call him in for no trades, no free agent signings. We let his man Bullet go. We brought in Kimber with the jersey. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know how that affected. What you mean? I'm most improved player, and I went to the All-Star. I took us to the playoff since when? Procast was out? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm going to play mind games with you. I'm going to make them feel comfortable, and I'm going to send them over here to this lottery. I'm going to call them into the office and sit down and talk to me. Tell me what was the issue. Let me hear his side of the story. Let me feel what he feels and get him to be in that mind frame where he turn up. As soon as he turn up the trade deadline, I'm trading. That's how you got to maneuver him, because you can't maneuver him off of you don't know. You got to get Julius back in his comfort zone where he feeling good about being here again. You know what I'm saying? Julius had a bad season only because he took out what was going on with him and the Knicks. He took it out on us as the fans. And that's where his wrong was. A lot of us could have looked at Julius and been like, okay, he having a bad season. Man, next year you can't do this. You can't do that. But when you playing bad and then you turn against us, the number one fans it is, and which we're diehard fans, and you go against us, you don't want to talk to us in media, no nothing, you thumb down us and all that. Now we want you up out of here. We can deal with a bad player not playing good, but don't turn against us when we spend the most money. We are the number one sold out arena by attendance, not by ticket sale, by attendance. Attendance sales and ticket sales are two different. When they take that ticket from you, it's a number on there saying that you've been counted for. You can buy a ticket and not go to the game, and you're not sold out as far as attendance. We are in that building completely sold out, and you turned against us. So that's why we want you up out of here. But if you're not trading him, you got to make him feel comfortable, whereas you could trick him some type of way, make him feel like he want to play good, make him feel he back and everything, then take advantage of that punch and trade him up out of here and let everybody see Julius is back. That's what you got to do to him.
I'm with Jay Boogie.
Hold on 1 second, sir. Okay. I'm going right to you.
All right.
I just wanted to say, where was it? 914's finest. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know, because honestly, I think Mark Cuban has already said, or it came out, that Dallas is not willing to do a sign and trade for Brunson. They ain't trying to help nobody out, and they definitely ain't trying to help the Knicks. So I don't think that would happen, even if we wanted it to happen. So I just wanted to put that out there. So go ahead, Sub.
No, I was just gonna say I'm with Jay Boogie. You know what I'm saying? They should have put Randle in the lottery. You know what I'm saying? In the lottery for a trade for the Pals for Valanciunas. In the lottery for a trade for the Pacers for Brogdon. In the lottery for a trade for to the Blazers for whoever. You know what I'm saying? Get those higher spots. I know that's not what my boy Jay Boogie meant though, but I just want to just joke around by putting.
I'm rocking with you.
Yeah,
yeah. You know I know what you said. That he was like, put him in the lottery so he feels better that he's more, with the team and has that support of the team. But I'm like, just put him in the lottery. Period. Like, let's just get rid of him though, because I don't want to get rid of him for nothing, because he still has value. Like a lot of us know he's that 2010. I mean, rounded to 10, 2010 and 5. Players. Those guys just don't come around often. But it's for the better of the team. You know what I'm saying? This is a team sport, just not one man's gonna take you to the championship and bring home that trophy. So for the better of the team, let's just get rid of him. He still has value, and the sooner the better. We'll figure out who the leader is gonna be next year, whether RJ is gonna take that vocal leadership role, or maybe it's IQ, because you guys remember last year, IQ, he had everybody on the bench, all the youngins surrounding him at the timeout, had that tablet out. He was showing everybody, I'm saying, this is where I want you. This is what you need to do, and maybe he could be that guy. So eventually, I'm saying, someone's going to step up to the plate. Julius didn't step up to the plate. That's why they didn't give him that captain role, that captain label. And it's still, undetermined on who's going to be that guy. So I'm just trying to go young. I'm just one of those patient Knicks fans that just bring in more talent. Let's go young. The writing's already on the wall. We keep drafting young players. We brought in a Cam Reddish, and now we have these veterans on expiring contracts.
Right.
And to if you're that eager to get rid of Randle, what is your return for him, and will it be equal to his production? Because we don't want to just get rid of him for nothing. So what are you
Most
looking for
likely
in
it
return?
won't.
Well, that's
Most
why I
likely
said
it won't.
that's why I said in the draft. Go ahead, Ron.
Oh, okay.
No, I was gonna.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Most likely, it won't be equal to the value that Julius can really give you when Julius is right. When Julius is right, he is one of the better players in this league. You want to say maybe he's not top 10, fine. Maybe not even top 20, but he's top 30. When he's going right, he's top 30 in the league, and that's saying something. Because remember, 30. Listen. There's 30 teams in the league. Everybody on the, each team doesn't have a star player. So if he's in that mix, that shows something when he's going right. What I would think is the only way I'm trading Julius Randle is if I'm getting equal value or something I really want, and or if it's for Donovan Mitchell. Because to me, you might say, well, Donovan wants to be on a winning team, and Julius and RJ together will give him a better opportunity. I don't necessarily think that. I think that Obi, if you play Obi at the starting power forward, Obi can give you 18-7 or 18-8 every night. I think he can do 18-7. 8 might be stretching it because he's learning how to rebound. But I think Obi can give you 18-7. If you can get 18-7 from Obi and maybe 4 assists because he can move the ball a little bit, 18-7 from Obi, get RJ's production, and get Donovan Mitchell's stuff. And then whoever else you round out the rest of the team with, obviously, if you're going to get Donovan, you want to try to keep Mitch.
You gotta like his activity.
Yeah. So,
hey, what up, Cully? I know you get ready to go. Ron, I want to ask you a quick question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Quick question. If Obi can average 18, 19, 20 points unschemed for defense, how many points do you think he would average if he's schemed for night in, night out?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Obi can be a lot more than we think he can be. The only thing I will say is Obi still needs time to prove himself against top defenses in the league. Like he's gonna get if the situation happens where Julius is up out of here and Obi becomes a starter, you're gonna see some really good nights from Obi. You're gonna see some really bad nights from Obi. He's gonna get locked down by some of these defenders, and he's gonna have to learn. See, the only thing about Obi that I don't know is he a fast learner. Because we saw Obi his first rookie season. He went through a lot of ups and downs. And then this is year 2, right? So in year 2, Obi came out the gate not great. Obi wasn't hitting on all cylinders in the beginning of the season. He got better as the season went along, and then he had that moment where you started to see, Obi looked like he's getting busy, and then Tibbs did his thing and messed with Obi's
his mind, his growth.
Confidence.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
that's what Obi's confidence. And he messed everything up again, and it's like, and Obi didn't go back to square one, but everything that we was building on went back down. And then towards the end of the season, when we were out of it, that's when we got to see Obi just play free. And he said it in his interview. He was much more confident. He wasn't worried about messing up and feeling like he was doing something wrong out there. He just played ball. So we saw the best of him. I think that is what you're going to have to see how he develops and how he makes adjustments, because the NBA going to play him tough. They ain't going to play around with him either. He going to get that Blake Griffin treatment. If he's starting, they're going to put bodies on him. They're going to foul him hard. Dudes are going to get up under him, and he's going to have to learn how to adjust to that. Cully, I wanted to get you in here. My bad, brother. What did you have that you wanted to talk about, bro?
I'm my fault, man. Well, for one, I want to say salute, man. I never get to rock out with Ron my first time. Salute all my guys. Sub motivated me to come on here. So I seen Sub got on here twice. I'm like, oh shoot, Sub again. So I'm like, all right, man. Let me get on.
It's the takeover.
I was surprised you rocked this long too, Ron. I was surprised.
Yeah, you know what, man? I feel, first off, last week I had to go because I had to do something personal. So I had a good panel. Guys was rocking out, and I had to leave. And this week, with the internet difficulties, me being an hour behind, I'm like, yo, let me rock out.
Right. Nah, I feel you. I'm glad you did, man. It was therapy. But yeah, salute my man Jay Boogie again. And,
hey, what's up?
I was just thinking about the draft. That's all. That's what got me excited. Every time I think about the draft, I get excited. I hate when I get excited because, it gets a lot of anxiety leading up to it. But I don't know. Me personally, I just my opinion. I mean, it ain't about my opinion, but I like the wings in the draft. I feel like right now for the Knicks, I feel like they need to hit a home run on a wing. I don't know, because you know what it is. The thing is, you have big men in the draft, but we have big men already. Even if we lose Mitch, I feel like we have two big men, and the likelihood Tibbs might not even play a rookie big with his love for Nerlens Noel, unless we trade him off too. But I feel like we have big men. I feel like we have guards. I mean, we need a point guard, but I feel like we have we feel like we have Deuce already. I feel like we got IQ. I feel like we have Rose, who Tibbs likes. You know what I'm saying? And as far as, and then you got the short wings. You got the guys at 6'5", 6'4", and 6'6". I feel like we got a few of those already. So I just feel like we need to hit a home run on a versatile wing, man. A guy that can cover at least a few positions. I feel like we need to hit a home run on that. I feel like it's just that time.
No, I agree with you there, man. Look, regardless, I don't care if, and this is what I want to say to fellow Knicks fans. Yeah, I know that the way the Knicks built this team together, especially at the guard position, we are flooded, man. And we don't need to be flooded because we don't got any superstars at that position.
Right.
RJ is our closest guy to being a star. And he's still not even recognized around the league by his peers as a star. So that what does that tell you? So next year, right, maybe he turns into that for us, because I think RJ, the one thing I love about RJ, he takes everything as a slap in the face and he continues to grow. So next year I expect more from him. But I'm saying this because Knicks need to go out there and acquire as much talent as possible. If you want to say we got 5 guys at the shooting guard position, if 6 is the guy that might be able to take 2 of those guys up out of here, then you go out and you get the 6th shooting guard, and then you cut the dead weight. You know what I mean? Do it smart. Don't just say, okay, I got a need, but the guy that's there for my need is not here. So, I mean, I need a point guard. So, on my 11th pick, I'm going to take Ty Washington. No, you don't just take Ty Washington. You take the best player available. You know what I mean? So, that's all I'm trying to say.
Oh, man.
I just wanted to throw something back to Cully, because in your eyes, Cully, so you say you want to hit that home run with the wing. Do you think it's a realistic take that you use that pick and package him with a player to get a veteran wing to make sure you hit that home run, with your knowledge knowing that Tibbs might not play him as much as you want it?
Well, that's funny, because I was just about to say, when you, like, it's funny because the Knicks seem to be the only team with this problem. Like, we were 6 games out of the 8th, right? So you would think no one's untouchable, and you would think we would need the best player available. But when you I said this with Sub the other night, like, with Tibbs, you got to factor 3 things: best fit, best player available, and is Tibbs more likely to even play the guy? You got to think about that too. Is Tibbs even, like, the likelihood? Last year he said wings and shooters. I just figured this is my opinion. I think he's more likely to let a wing get run than the other positions, than a guard or a rookie center or a rookie point guard. I think a rookie wing, he's more likely to get the burn. However, I still don't know, because with Tibbs, you don't know. But I do agree, Marv. I do agree. I don't even know, like, if he's gonna get run anyway. But I just feel like that. I feel like that's just an area that just could cover, kind of like, I don't know, the team. Like, I mean, I feel like we got torched in the perimeter last year. You know, you asking RJ to do a lot. You know, offense and defense. It was a lot. I don't know. I just think it was a lot, and I think you should just get somebody that could just hold it down on the perimeter, on the other side of RJ.
And let me, before I get to Soulfinger, once again, let me just give a shout out to people in the chat. Appreciate y'all. East Blue Drew, Andy N, what's going on, brother? Shot clock violation, movies and stuff. First off, I agree with what Shot Clock Violation said. This draft is full of wing players. Knicks have been complaining that they need a wing player. Tibbs said it last year. They never really addressed it. And if you want to say they kind of did with Cam Reddish, well, I don't know, because it seems like Cam Reddish is not Tibbs's guy. If you look at what we've seen, I don't know. So we'll see. But we definitely need another one. Go get one. Go get one. Soulfinger, what you got going on, brother? Good to see you. And what you think about all that?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What up, Soul?
Oh man, nothing much.
Salute, man.
So, I was just listening to what you were saying, and especially what you're saying about Cam. I think we need to look at the small forward situation, but we still got to address the situation with Mitch. That right there, you got to figure out which way you're going to go. I was listening to you earlier before I had to roll out and everything, and now I see you still rocking. And people talked about Mo Bamba and all this and that. I'm not even going there. I'm going to go back to what you were talking about regarding Cam real quick. I think we need to address the wing situation as well. We don't know what we have in Cam. Cam got injured. Cam didn't look like Tibbs didn't want him. You can see he didn't want him at the time because he had to make, as he said, he had to make room for him. So we traded a player we weren't using for a player that actually got, you have tape on that should be on the floor. So he was buried up under what we had going there. And he has a lot of things. He has a lot of attributes that you find really intriguing. His wingspan, his athleticism. A lot of people, a lot of you here talk about his motor. Oh, he's just kind of low motor, but he just seems like he's a nonchalant kind of cat, but he'll still go out there and do what he can do. I think he can still be a piece. If not, he can be a contributor to the team. If not, he's going to be a piece in a trade. I can see him using him that way. But I would say before you do anything, see what you got. You got the trade deadline coming up before you ship him off. But we do need to see if we can address that wing situation as well, even with him. We need another wing. It's duly noted. We got RJ playing the 3 when he was our shooting guard. We got Evan Fournier, and he broke the Knicks 3-point record. He attempts to play defense, but let's call it like it is. Evan Fournier can't put a cover on the bed. He tries, but he can't put a cover on the bed. But that goes away from where we were. And then, yes, we're still going to address the point guard situation. We're dealing with this point guard situation forever and a day. I'm willing to roll with what we have now at the guard. I mean, minus, you got to get Kemba up out of there. Eventually, D-Rose's going to be gone. But if you're going to go with IQ and Deuce, and I've seen people in the chat, can't go with IQ. Can't use him. We can't give it to Deuce. For the time being, get out of your head to win now. Look at us as being a rebuilding team. And these are some of the moves we're going to have to make. Because your point guard, you never know the step that IQ can possibly make or what Deuce does. But I don't want to see it just going out there in desperation because of what happened this season, making a move, and you start hustling backwards instead of moving forward.
Right.
Yeah. I want to agree with what my boy Kelly said and kind of talk about, needing wings, and Soulfinger brought it up too. You can never have enough wings. We have
absolutely.
We have Cam as a wing, but Cam is the offensive scorer. The problem with the Knicks is we don't have guys that do both things. Either he's a scorer, he's a shooter, he's a slasher. There's not enough, 3-and-D wings that we have. So that's okay. If Cam doesn't become a defender and he's a scorer, we can have that scorer off the bench, someone who's just a microwave scorer. You saw in the beginning of the season, he was his first play of the game, went coast to coast, did a reverse layup, and I was like, whoa, look at it. We don't have that.
You don't see that anybody else doing that.
Yes, we don't have that. But what I'm hoping is Cam and RJ get together over the summer and they make each other better by working out and working on that defense. But if not, that's okay. This is a heavy wing draft. We could either get Jeremy Sohan or Tari Eason, and they could play either the 3 or the 4 defensively, and that's how they're going to get on the court. So I'm okay with taking either one of those guys right now. And hey, with all these young guys playing, maybe they can just bring the best out of each other with competition. So that's kind of the route I would go. Just let the best player available fall to us unless we do the Julius Randle trade. Don't move up right now. I don't see the Knicks moving up. The writings on the wall as far as them accumulating all this draft picks. We have a ton of second round picks next year. We have 2 first round picks next year. Not to say that they won't make a call if they feel like someone's available at that spot, kind of like they did last year, calling for the Pacers for Chris Duarte. But if the cost is too high, I just don't see him moving up. I see him staying pat, maybe picking one of those guys.
I agree with you. I agree with that. Real quick, Sherwin M. Yeah, look, if you're looking at the problem is you got to look at this like NFL, right? You know, guys come into the league and some of their distinctions, what they're listed as, you come into the league and then the team will change you around and make you what they feel you're best at. It could be a player who's, you know, we've seen the Arizona Cardinals, Simmons, you know, he was a tweener type player, right? They brought him in. He could play safety. He could play linebacker, all this stuff. He was actually in college a linebacker, but they moved him all around. So Arizona made him into a safety. So in basketball, in this case, it's the same thing, because if you look at like the, you know, some of the players who are coming out, if you look at mock draft, whatever, their height and what they're listed at, certain guys are listed at a position where you think, is he really that, or is he really that? So this draft is wing heavy, because like, for example, Johnny Davis, what do you think he is? I mean, he's 6'5", the way he plays, you think he's a shooting guard. He's listed as a small forward. I don't see that.
Yeah, we got enough of that on this team.
Right.
Man.
So
Yeah, man.
if you bring him into the NBA, he's going to be a shooting guard, and
Right.
vice versa. You'll see the flip with other guys in coming out. Like, who's another interesting example? Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray is
That's a wing.
He's a wing, right? But he was the power forward for his school.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, some of these guys, you can't look at them in the positions that they got them listed as, because in the NBA, they're going to play something different. Keegan Murray is going to be like a Mikal Bridges.
Miles
Yeah,
or Mikal?
Go ahead.
That was
I
like
mean, better than him, though. But
You
I'm
mean
just saying,
Miles or
like,
Mikal,
position.
Ron?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You mean Miles or Mikal?
No, well, actually both, because both of them are small forwards.
Right.
Miles played power forward for Charlotte as well, but
Right.
he's really a small forward, and Mikal is a small forward as well.
Right.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
I think, you know, that's the case. Like, this is what the situation is. Depends on what team they go to and how they play. They could go to a team like Golden State that plays a lot of small ball, and in that case, Keegan Murray might be the power forward for them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It depends.
Yeah, but I like. Okay, I like
ahead,
that though. I like that positionless basketball. I like how we have IQ running the point guard, or he could be a shooting guard off the bench. I like those guys. You know, Dyson Daniels is another one that people are talking about. He's you know, listed at 6'8" now, just a facilitator, something that we don't have on the Knicks. Someone who has good vision and you know, can get guys open, can find them in their spots, can lead passes to them, can thread the needle. A guy who could guard 1 through 3. I like those guys, because then you don't have to wait your turn. Oh, the shooting guard went down. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not a shooting guard. I'm a small forward. I can't play that position. So the more guys that we have on the Knicks that can play multiple positions, the more opportunities they have to go out there and show their talents when somebody goes down. You know what I mean?
Right.
I kind of disagree with that. I feel like the last time we had like a winning season was in 2013, when everybody played their positions to a T. For instance, Jason Kidd, as old as he was, he kind of was a factor in us having that winning season. J.R. Smith played his position to a T, playing the backup too, behind Carmelo Anthony. I think he got the Sixth Man of Award that year.
Yeah,
Carmelo Anthony
he did.
played the best basketball of his life, right? I don't know about Marcus Stoudemire. We all know he was always injured, but Tyson Chandler, at least during the regular season, he was one of the best at his position, playing the center as far as defensively goes and getting rebounds. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this: like, I'm such a stickler for not being undersized in our positions, because how is somebody like quickly gonna defend? Well, not quickly, but how somebody like what's his name, Deuce McBride, gonna defend somebody like a John Wall in his prime or something like that?
James Harden.
Yeah, but Deuce McBride is a second-round pick. You know, I mean, I don't really expect him to be a starting point guard and, you know, guarding, you know, twos at that position. He'll be just a guy who can play spot minutes. But what I'm talking about is teams like the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green brings the ball up sometimes. And Curry's not really the point guard. He's running through screens. You know, they're finding him open. And then you have Klay Thompson, who's guarding their best defensive backcourt guy. So you got to have those guys who can play multiple positions on the offense and defensive end That's kind of what I'm getting at. You know, the league has changed where it's no more you know, you're a strictly point guard, you're going to guard the point guard, or you're a center. Now we have stretch fives, and you know, we have those tweeners as far as if you're a small forward, power forward, and that's kind of the way I would build it. You know what I mean? Next man up, you don't skip a beat. You guard multiple positions, no matter if you get switched on a big or a small.
Right. And
one question: do you mind Donovan Mitchell being our point guard?
Point guard by default. I don't necessarily. I mean, yeah. I guess you like. I mean,
I'm not with it, but
I don't know, man.
I'm with it just to have him on the Knicks. I'm with it.
When you talking about
DeRozan can do it.
I'm not with that, but I'm with Cully to have him on.
I'm with what Cully just said. I think it was Cully. I'm sorry, I was looking at something, so I didn't see who said. I just want Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks. So
yeah, then if
figure out where to use him once he's here.
Donovan Mitchell ain't no DeRozan, but I mean, I'll take it for now.
Right.
I'll take him, but you know, my thing is I'm not. I mean, put him at point. No, I don't see that. But
no,
So you guys will put him at the 6'3" 2 guard, defending people like DeRozan. Zach LaVine.
That's what he is, though, isn't he? Isn't Donovan Mitchell a 2 guard?
He is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why would you put him at? Okay, if you're gonna put him at, that's the same complaint about like we're saying you're using IQ, putting IQ at the point,
right?
You know, or I mean, it's just like using. Truth be told, what's Russell?
Well, it depends. You know what it is. Not to cut you off.
So go ahead on rock.
It also depends how you use him. Are you using him to set up plays and for the pace? Is he guarding the other team's point guard? You got to look at that too. Like sometimes other guys cover the other team's best player and all that stuff.
Yeah, and you don't have to have Donovan Mitchell be your point guard for Donovan Mitchell to act like a point guard in situations. You know, Donovan gets his 6-7 assists some nights, a lot of nights actually, but just by doing what he does, because he creates so much havoc on the court and he gets double teams, so he gets open opportunities for other players. He can be on the court as a point guard, and I think that's what most teams would try to use him as, to try to cover up his defense, because you know he gets cooked sometimes, and he's not the best defender. So you put him at least he can deal better with a point guard than a shooting guard. Even if so, what you do is you have him at the point guard, and whoever your 2 is, if it ain't RJ, he has to be a guy at the 2 who can handle the ball like a Cam Reddish. It has to be whoever who can move the ball and has a good dribble, because that's what you need at the 2. If you got Donovan at the 1, that's how I think you play that out, so that way you got somebody who can, as long as the person at the 2 can dribble and won't get the ball stolen from them and can break down the defense, you can still be okay with Donovan being your number 1. It's just when you don't have that, and then you force Donovan to be the point guard and he's scoring, and he's not always going to facilitate, then you run into some issues. What I wanted to ask you guys, and I'll move it around, what do you guys think about? So I was just looking while you guys were talking at a CBS mock draft, and it's some interesting stuff in there. I don't know if listen. CBS is the same network that had the Knicks winning like 23 games a while ago. We wound up winning 41. I don't trust everything CBS says, but in this mock draft, they got Dyson Daniels going 19 to Minnesota, and they got Johnny. I
saw that draft.
They got Johnny Davis going 24th to Milwaukee. Now, don't get me wrong, Johnny Davis on Milwaukee, I think they'd love that. But I just like
him going that far down.
Right. So what they did have is a guy that we're probably going to touch more about on Still Knick Fans later, when we get to our draft stuff. But a guy that I thought was interesting that I've seen his name is the 6'10" player from Serbia, Nikola Jovic.
Oh yeah, he's solid.
What do you guys think about him? Because I've seen him in other mocks going to the Knicks.
I've seen him going to the Spurs actually. Sometimes.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Well, you know how the Spurs love those guys.
He's a good player though. He's solid, man. 6'11". I think he's 6'11", right? 6'11".
6'10". Mm-hmm. I thought he was 6'10".
Well, yeah, 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah. I can't say I haven't seen him play, but I've seen his name, like some mock drafts. I've seen his name going to the Spurs.
I seen him in the 20s. I seen him going to the Spurs. I think Spurs got 2 picks. I think 1 at 9, One at 23, 24. One of them.
And let me give you guys just a heads up so you know who he is. He's a 6'10 player. He obviously overseas player. He averaged 11.8 points in 25 minutes, basically 24.8. So he had 11.8 points. He averaged 5.5 rebounds, 1 assist. So he wasn't really moving the ball like that. But he shot 71% from his 2-point shots. He shot 75% from the free throw line, and he shot 40% from 3. 6'10".
Well, I heard a guy this morning on Space Talk, and he was the San Antonio Spurs, and he went on, excuse me, and said the Spurs grabbing him at the 9th pick, and he almost got ran out of the space park. You know what I'm saying? But he might be a type guy that you get later on and stash, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I think the Knicks might be getting into getting players and stashing them, developing them in G League and everything like that. But when you talk about what's his name, Daniels, you say?
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about Daniels has advantage over a lot of these guys that's sitting on the sidelines with their clothes on and with their phones on, and with their earbuds in their ears, you know what I'm saying, rocking to their music, because you're not coming into this combine and performing and doing anything. You're scared to go against the hungry guys that's trying to come up, you know what I'm saying? Or you think you're so good that your spot is solidified, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. You're not showing me nothing. That's why, you know, I spoke about the dude Andrew from Gonzaga that dropped the 26 and 11 assists, you know what I'm saying? But with Daniels, he showed you what he could do against some grown men that's trying to get back into the league and some people that's trying to get into the league in the G League. So I can understand him not going out there and performing. So he has an advantage over it. I think he's going somewhere in the top 10. He's a sleeper. I don't think he's going definitely not past 12. That 19? No. I don't know nothing about 19.
You also can't forget about that guy Usman Deng, man.
Usman Deng is another one, yeah.
That's another sleeper. He kind of reminds me of Jovic, man. Same height, I think. 6'11", 6'10". Could run the break. All that, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what they do. Andy, I thought that was funny. Andy said, we can't get Jovic because I got too much work defending the rest of the Europeans. So, no, you don't want to deal with another one.
Yeah, that's why I'm good at just standing pat, because there's just too many guys that are going to move up the board, down the board. You know, someone's going to slip to us at 11.
But stop playing with me. I don't need this 11 pick. Detroit got to be pissed off of where they drafted at. That's number 5. They was looking to be somewhere in the top 3. So, Detroit, you got a problem? I tell you what, we can make it easy and make it right for you. Take this 11 pick and take this Cam Reddish and send me that young Horace over here. Get him. I could do a move like that.
I just know one thing, man. Hypothetically, wait, what are you about to say? I'm sorry, Jay Boogie. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if the Knicks, let's say they moved up to let's say they did move up to like 5. If they get a Shaedon Sharpe, what are we doing with the other guards? I just want to know. Or Jaden Ivey. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are they doing with the other guard? That's all I want.
You're gonna have to make moves. You're gonna have to clear out some stuff, man.
It's just it's a busy summer then. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is, Cully. It's gonna be if the Knicks make a move for a wing player, not maybe even if it's a wing player, but if it's one of those tweener guys who's a wing or who could be a shooting guard, then you already know the Knicks is setting up for a competition, and it's not going to be fair to certain guys because they're not going to get a full look. It's going to be quick. You're going to get this summer into training camp, and if you ain't looking like you deserve that position, you're going to get up out of here quick. So it's not fair, but at some point, the Knicks got to look. I'm all about the youth movement, but I'm also fair in the fact that there's only so many young guys you can have on a team. You got like 9 guys younger than 24 years old. At a certain point, some of these young guys got to get up out of here. You need some veteran talent. You got to round it out right. We can't. We not those teams that have are full of young players, unless they all the old OKC, they ain't going nowhere no time soon, and you're going to see a lot of growing pains. And not many organizations want to be at that point, especially we're in between. We're not rebuilding the way Detroit, OKC, and those teams. We're like in between, so they're going to want a little bit more basketball know-how out there.
Right. Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
until that,
Two questions
until
for
that,
y'all.
Ron,
So,
that's the question I wanted to pose to the panel. Actually starting with Soulfinger. Realistically, guys, one at a time. What's your thoughts, and how soon do you think the Knicks could be really relevant, including starting next year? Are your expectations playoffs and moving forward? Because I've heard Sully say it a couple of times. He's not upset about the rebuild.
Oh, you
So
mean
I
Cully?
just wanted to know. I just wanted to actually ask the panel, what's your expectations for next year and 1 year after?
I
Playing.
just tell you right now, I'm looking at us to move forward and at least get back to playoff contention. You know, it's going to be I'm not looking for us to come out the next season, go from not making the playoffs to win it all, or make that magical run and go to the Eastern Conference Final. I mean, for some kind of saying, why not? But be realistic, show progress, man. Because we still got a train wreck going on with the guard situation, the mid situation, our wing situation. So you got to clear that up. You got to get some kind of
Right.
real direction. And we're just gonna have to some say we're not rebuilding. I mean, it's all over the place. I'm all right with a true, honest to God rebuild. I don't want to, go out here start chasing, trying to bring in a superstar that's not on the radar that wants to come. I'm not for that. We've done that before. We've been on that same hamster wheel. The only thing we've done was change the colors. You know what I'm saying? So be smart about your draft. Draft the right pieces and continue to move forward. And like I said, if I say 3 years, and within 3 years, you could probably be right up in the mix in the thick of it if you build it the right way.
Right.
Realistic.
So your expectation is about 3 years. What you saying?
Yeah, about
I can
three.
agree. About 3.
About 3.
All right. What do you think, Don P?
the general consensus about this draft is it's a weak draft. I think we all can agree on that. It reminds me of the 2013 draft. So with that said, I'm all for trading a pick for maybe another pick in the 2023 draft or something like that. I mean, and working with the young players that we already have on the roster. So with that said, to answer that question, I would go with in about 3 years as well. You know what I mean? Because yeah, our point guard situation, we don't have a legit point guard. That's one. Number two, we don't know what's going on with Mitchell Robinson. We can project what we want about Mitchell, but ultimately it's up to him if he want to leave or not.
Yep.
And that I don't care what nobody says. That'll be a blow to us because again, I don't trust Noel and Sims. I like Sims, but I just believe he'll be a good reserve center for us moving forward. And that's just my two piece of.
Okay, Sub, what you think?
Like I mentioned before, the writing's on the wall with the expiring contracts that we have for next year. Rose will be off contract. Noel's everybody knows who's going to be off contract. Then the 2023 draft comes in. You develop those guys, and then the following year you have a decision on what you're going to do with Obi, what you're going to do with IQ. Do these young guys beat out either one of those guys? Do we give them the contract, or do we develop again while bringing in the 2023 and free agents? So then you got to build that chemistry with the free agents and what we have in house. Then with that year of chemistry, then we'll be better. We'll be contenders that following year.
Okay. Jay Boogie, what you think, brother? Oh wait, so you think Sub? So what do you think? Like when we'll be back to being a relevant team, like a playoff type team? Like, you think 3 years, or you think sooner? Or what do you think?
No, I think we're gonna run it back again. Unfortunately, with the same team, and we'll be basically in the same boat, trying to fight it for a playing spot. Then get bounced in the first, maybe the first game, or we get it to the second round. But yeah, we're not gonna do any big moves. We're not gonna be contenders to, like everybody said, 2-3 years, and then we'll be in that fourth spot or higher, for years to come. And I'm good with that. I don't want to make a big move and then just be relevant for 2 years, and then we're back in the same square one all over again. I want to be contenders. I want to build brick by brick, and then I want to be good for 10 years plus and get our chip done.
Gotcha. What you think, Jay Boogie?
Yeah, my favorite two players, man, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, 23-24. That 23 draft is the one that we got to go ahead and make everything's right. You know what I'm saying? We already got 2 picks in that draft. I don't know what's going on with the Charlotte. Maybe it's a potential having a pick. I don't know. I haven't looked into that situation. And even if we trade out of this pick right here for next year, that's potential 3 to 4 draft picks in the 23. Then you take your time to develop them and figure them out and put them all together. Same time, you're freeing up cap space. The whole NBA league is in free agency that year. Then you play them all, whatever you put together that year, give them a year to develop. Come 24, I'm looking to take off, man. You know what I'm saying? Take off 24, you know what I'm saying, and beyond. I look for the New York Knicks franchise to be back where it's supposed to be. I look for everybody to be happy. I look for all the podcasters to be happy. I look for all the guys, some of the guys that's in the chats to open up podcasts. That means we rocking, we rolling, we doing everything. I look for 24, man. Kobe Bean Bryant, man, number, man. That's what I'm rocking with, man. 24, man. But with that, man, I got to slide off, man. I got to go give my baby some medicine and everything. Y'all guys continue being healthy and safe, doing what y'all doing. Cully, my fault. I was in and out of the zone. I was shooting a video that night when I was trying to rock on with you in the sub, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's all good, man.
Yeah, I was from 5 o'clock to 2:30 in the morning. So, but man, God bless y'all guys. Keep doing what y'all doing, man. I'm still gonna be in the chat, man. Hey, yo, Ron, you my man. Give me a second. You know what I'm saying? Touch your app up, help keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? God bless you all. Y'all have a great weekend, man. Continue doing what y'all doing. Salute to the chat. We catch capital S's.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Be easy.
So I'm gonna say that I am not doing what I did this year. Next year, I'm not going out the window, jumping out the window and saying the Knicks are gonna give a 50 burger. I ain't doing none of that next year. What I'm gonna say is, this might shock you, and I know this is gonna shock me too because I'm saying it. I think the Knicks are gonna be great next year. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not saying they're gonna be like a contender or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. But what I think is this year we saw a lot of up and down. We saw a lot of parity in the league, and certain teams showed me that they are not contenders, they're pretenders. The Atlantas, the Charlottes, these teams showed themselves, and I know that if the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau and this organization get on the right page, Tom Thibodeau plays the guys the way he needs to play them. Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to change his stripes overnight, guys. I'm just saying if he incorporates a little bit more willingness, if he learned anything from this year in those last, the last month of the season, if he starts playing that way, this team is going to be way better than they were this year. We're going to make the playoffs. I don't know if we're going to get out of the first round. I don't know any of that, but I think we'd be a much better team as far as how we play. We won't be blowing 20-point leads in the fourth quarter and stuff like that. And I also think that next year's draft will get us to the point where we become a perennial team that can make the playoffs every year. Well, I don't think we'll be elite or nothing like that. That, I think, is going to be another 2 to 3 years before we can call ourselves a contender. See how we got to build it first, and then you can add a player or two to solidify you. But I think next year we're going to make the playoffs. I think we're going to be a better team. I think adjustments are going to be made on the offensive end. If it's not from Tibbs, it's going to be from the organization bringing in somebody who helps with the X's and O's. If we keep Johnny Bryant, somebody's going to come in to help Johnny Bryant scheme up the offense better and make some adjustments so we can do more. We're going to have a young team with some talented players that we've already seen when they're healthy. We saw what Cam, what Deuce, what RJ, what Grimes. Was Grimes there? I think he was for the first couple games before he got hurt. We saw what all them dudes looked like when they got to play together, finally. Yeah. And then everybody started getting hurt right away. We lost Grimes, and then eventually we lost Cam. So we didn't get to see it sustained. But if they start playing these guys, you realize you can do more on the offensive end. So I think they're going to be better than we think next year.
I think at best.
Yeah, I didn't think we got Cully's take.
My fault. My fault.
Oh, no, Cully said 3 years because he agreed. So that's why I didn't go back to him. Go ahead, Cully.
I got playing, man. Playing. at best playing. I think they're better than they was last year for the same aspects you just mentioned, Ron. I think we see more. We might see more youngins. I really don't know, but I think they'll force Tibbs' hand again. I think they'll force it even more this year. I think I think we'll compete better this year. But I don't know about how good. But I do think playing potential the most.
Yeah, I just wanted to say before sub goes, I will get back to you, Marvin. Yeah, because I just think that first off, we lost, I think, 6 games. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. If you guys know, I think we lost 6 games when we had 20-point leads. Even if one
might be more.
It might be more. That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. NBA teams, professional NBA teams that know their team and have good coaching, you don't do this. Like not that often. That's crazy. So I mean, we've seen some of it in the playoffs too. But
look at this, Ron. Think about this as well. Look how many games we lost on the count of free throws. I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I do believe we lost 8 games on the count of free throws.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you that's another thing. Say what you will about Tibbs. I cannot believe how many things that weren't fundamentally sound on this Knicks team that we saw this year from a coach like Tom Thibodeau. Guys not being in the right spots. Guys not, rotating properly on defense. Guys not hitting their free throws on a Tom Thibodeau team. Yeah, that's wild to me. That's right. I can't believe that. So
a disciplinarian coach like Tibbs, those are the coaches that piss those coaches off the most. The free throws, the simple things. Oh man.
And we couldn't leave the gym when we was young if we could have hit our free throws at the end of practice.
Yeah, word. Yeah. You be running suicides and all types of stuff. Man. You don't get your free throws right, bro.
I got 2 questions for the panel. Where do y'all see RJ at his pinnacle, potential-wise?
Like a player comp, or what type of player, or you mean like the averages?
Like a player comp. Yeah, like a player comp. Like who would y'all compare him to as pinnacle?
Funny,
I heard Jimmy Butler.
You said Jimmy Butler?
I heard Jimmy Butler. Some people say Jimmy Butler, but what would y'all compare him to?
He kind of reminds me too of the guy he plans on working with this summer, DeRozan. I see some of but you know what? The highest ceiling I see him was, I always said, people might think I'm crazy. I do not care. I always thought, I started to think James Harden. And I only say that because I say that when he started getting a shot. When he started getting his corner shot working, I'm like, see, now if he starts, putting moves together and starts creating separation to get them same shots, I see a lot of James Harden. Probably also because of the lefty, he's left-handed. I see a lot of that. So if he I don't expect him to start doing step backs, but if I see him getting separation and then pulling those threes and making them, James Harden all the way. Between him and DeRozan, that's the highest ceiling card I see for RJ.
I see Paul Pierce because go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I see Paul Pierce. He's more methodical. He doesn't have that athleticism. Plays below the rim. Kind of got to pick his spots, and he has that cool game to cool style of game. I just the Jimmy Butler and DeRozan, they're more athletic. They get by players with their first step, and then DeRozan has that sneaky athleticism. I didn't see him do some 360 dunks. Going baseline. So I mean,
that ain't depends. Sneaky. So that is not.
It ain't sneaky, but he has that athleticism.
Y'all like that
sub in my head. You all in my head on that one, sub. I was thinking more Paul Pierce, Jimmy Butler type, because the way he's built, but the athleticism is what I look at towards the Paul Pierce. If RJ can become more crafty and actually finish, I can see that. Not saying Paul Pierce, but Paul Pierce-ish.
What about Cam Reddish?
Well, hold on, Don P. Let me weigh in real quick because I think when I look at RJ, I really think his game is more suited to a James Harden type. The only reason is because with DeRozan, say what DeRozan is an assassin when it comes to mid-range shooting. RJ hasn't showed that he can shoot at any level that well yet. So I can't give him that yet. The Jimmy Butler comparisons was because RJ was starting to show that he could be a really good defender. but he tailed off this year. And do I still think he can? Yeah, but I think he had a lot on his shoulders to become the defensive presence when they were lacking. And then he started to work more on his offense, and then his defense started to lack a little bit. I don't think he got that Jimmy Butler defensive gene just yet. He can get better next year going forward. Maybe if the Knicks build a better team around, then RJ can start focusing on his defense again. But RJ, like, I mean, look, if you look at the last 2 months of the season, RJ let a lot of stuff go past him. On the baseline, he was getting cooked. Say what you will, in that game where he dropped 47 against Jimmy Butler in Miami, which is great on him. I think it was 46 against them. You know, they couldn't stop him, but he wasn't stopping Jimmy Butler either. Jimmy Butler was cooking him. So I don't think that's the comparison for him. I think the James Harden's prime, you know, he might be able to get that way. If he can work on his three-point shooting and then works on his free throw shooting, he could definitely be James Harden-like.
Yeah, that's the closest I could think of.
Better than him because he plays better defense.
Yeah, I get why people said DeRozan too, because RJ Barrett watched a lot of DeRozan tape, and that's why he had that closeout on him and that missed shot on DeRozan when we played against the Bulls. He said, "I've been watching him for so long. I knew what his move was going to be at the end of the game to hit that, you know, buzzer beater." And he's working out with them this summer too. So
I hope that happens. Yeah,
at least he's watching tape, unlike Coach. Man, I don't even know if Coach is watching tape anymore, man.
Oh, but that's
in my eyes, guys. In my eyes, I really feel that RJ, the sky's the limit. I believe it's left up to the coach that is coaching him. I believe his ceiling hasn't even been touched. He hadn't even got close to it. If a coach really puts confidence and have confidence in him, I think RJ could be as good as anybody.
Right.
As far as similarities, I mean, there's so many guys in the league, but RJ he's still up and coming. So I can't really just put him in one spot, you know, because it seems like he's been in the league a long time, but he's still very young. And everybody knows his ceiling is still super high. So I really believe that this is a coaching issue. If you make him I don't know if he's looked at as a number one, but at least a number two. If you put him at that number two on the team, sky's the limit for him. So I just look at it as being one of the top in his position and getting better every year. With him being so young, his ceiling is still there, guys. So I think he's got a great upside.
Yeah. Before we get to
Cam Reddish?
Yeah, before we get to Cam Reddish, I just wanted to say that with regards to Jimmy Butler and him cooking RJ, yes, Jimmy Butler is stronger than RJ. Even though RJ is strong, Jimmy Butler is stronger. And let's not take anything away from Jimmy Butler. He is a tough task, and you see it in the playoffs. When he wants to do what he wants to do, ain't nobody stopping Jimmy Butler. He's shown it. No matter who is facing him, when Jimmy wants to get his buckets, they call him Jimmy Buckets for a reason, because he can get them when he wants to. I always joke with John. I say he got that old man game, because he just, lulls you to sleep. He plays around, gets a couple points here and there in the regular season. He saves his energy for the fourth quarter, and it looks like he saved his energy all season for the playoffs, because this is another Jimmy Butler. He's off the charts right now. So I just wanted to put that out there and get to Cam. So Don P, you wanted to know Cam's game and like who that's similar to. And I am going to save this because I'm going to think about it while everybody else is talking, because I personally don't know if I know exactly who Cam translates to yet.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell y'all right now. I don't know Cam's ceiling, but to me, his comparison is Michael Beasley and Derek Williams that used to play for the New York Knicks.
Oh my! Wow!
Yeah, just number two pick, super athletic, could get his own bucket if he wants to, but just too cool for school. Just to me, he has those pothead vibes to me when he's out there. And I watched him. I watched him out here when the Knicks played Portland. I live out here in Portland, and when he played against them. The first two people that were out in pre-warmups was IQ and Quentin Grimes. They were out there putting up threes, taking in-game shots. They were the first ones out there at halftime doing the same thing, using players for screens to get to separation, get those open looks. You see Cam just kind of just going through the motion. He has little leg kick outs when he's shooting three. He's talking to people, not really in game mode. So that's why I have that comparison for him, is that he has that low motor kind of like Beasley and them too. So that's the only reason. He does have that high ceiling, but I don't know if he'll ever get to it, because to me, he doesn't have that fire and desire, as Clyde Frazier would say,
And in my eyes, in a small sample size, I see a young Karis LeVert, guys. I really do. in a little small sample size that we've actually seen, and we've all seen what Karis LeVert can do. And I picture a Cam Reddish kind of being in that mode. That's only if he could stay healthy, for one, and then he can get some playing time. I mean, if you look at his numbers with ample playing time, he actually plays well. So, with him being the age he's at, and I think he at least Karis LeVert, and maybe even higher.
Yeah, okay. Cully?
It's a tough one, man. He's always hurt, and I never got to see him fully to really give him a comp. I'm gonna go with who a lot of people have been saying, Paul George. That's his calling card. That's the best I can give him.
I don't know, man.
I know he played.
I don't know. A poor
That's
man,
kind of high.
Paul George. He like a destitute Paul George.
No, he is.
Paul George is a baller, man.
I mean, you could say you could be funny and say T-Mac because of the injuries, but I don't know.
But T-Mac had a low motor too. He just had all the skill.
See, that's the thing with Cam though. I can't say Cam don't have a motor, because how he played against the Bucks, that Hawks series, he had some urgency to me. So I don't know. That's just me. I can't call it yet.
That's the frustrating part though, because you see those in glimpses. You see the talent there.
He's hurt. The guy's always hurt when he gets it going. As soon as he gets it going, he gets hurt. So I really don't even know.
I don't think the Cam Reddish experiment is going to work out with the Knicks. I think that our expectations for what we want out of him won't meet the type of talent that he can provide, because I think he still needs time to figure it out. And I don't know if he'll be able to figure it out with the Knicks under Tibbs. So I think they're going to wind up flipping Cam somewhere else. And then eventually, if everything works out for Cam, eventually he'll get it. But it'll take some time somewhere else. He's going to need to be in a situation where he's the starter and he gets a lot of minutes. He's going to need 28 plus minutes to really be effective out there because he's a rhythm guy and needs to feel comfortable. He ran into a lot of problems with Atlanta. Atlanta wasn't playing him. And eventually what they did was Atlanta went out and got similar players to him. And then they gave him opportunities to play, and he started playing. But now you already got Bogdanovich and all these other guys.
Well, you got a guy that's just like him in front of him.
Yeah. So
DeAndre Hunter,
it's too much going on over there. It was too late, and he had to move him. So I don't know. I think Cam is going to be up out of here, but I hope I'm wrong and Cam gets it together. But he is injury prone too. Every time I feel bad for him, because every time he starts to get going and looks good, some injury happens.
And I feel like if he's the wing, well, we don't know if he's the wing in the future for us, but I feel like even if we do keep him, you still need another wing. Can never have enough.
I
think it's a good move in the right direction. At least I think so.
Well, guys, I'm about to wrap up the show. Before we get to it, though, because first off, it's I don't know where everybody lives. Well, I know Subliminal's in Portland, but I'm saying at the chat and everybody who's watching on the East Coast.
I'm on the East Coast. I'm in New York.
Yeah, right. I know you are. Right. It's 85 degrees right now. It's supposed to be going up to 91 degrees. I don't know if it hit that yet. It's hot. This is the hottest day it's been so far. It's Saturday. People outside living their best life.
About to go barbecue, Ron.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get my best life on, even though it's hot. And I like to go out in the nighttime when it's hot like this. But whatever. I'm gonna take advantage of it. But before we get up out of here, I wanted to get y'all guys' take on Rokas Jokubaitis. Too bad Andy ain't here right now. But what y'all feel about Rokas Jokubaitis? He won the European what do you call that? Most Improved Player of the Year award. Great for him. And mind you guys, Rokas doesn't play a lot of minutes out there. I mentioned it before on previous shows. In Europe, in these leagues, they have the same type of players that play out there. And if you're a player for these teams and you have your tenure, you've been a star, like the person who he's behind is one of the biggest stars in Europe. And he's the starter. That's it. I don't care how good Rokas is, he's gonna be the bench player. It don't matter. That's how it is out there. So the fact that he got that award says a lot, being that he doesn't play starter minutes. And that's why you look at his numbers, you might see 7 or 10 points, whatever it is. It don't look crazy sexy, but you got to understand he's not playing traditional in the NBA. He's playing behind somebody and playing less minutes. So what do you guys think about Rokas? Do you think that you are impressed with what he did? And do you think that the Knicks should think about bringing him over next year? Because I think the Knicks feel he's going to need to play one more year. And Rokas wants to be a star over here. He don't want to just come over here and sit on the bench behind somebody. He want to be
right.
What do you guys think, Cully? What do you think about Rokas?
I like Rokas, man. I mean, but it just brings up another question mark. I mean, I guess they're seeing what point guard for the future is better. Because he's another one though. I feel like we have Deuce, so it's like, why are we not? Let's see what Deuce is. But I mean, as far as Rokas goes, I like him. I like his game, the European game. He has a lot of you already know who they say his calling card is, Dragic, but he has some of that in him. Is he also left-handed? I can't remember if Rokas is left-handed.
Yeah, he is. Oh, and I'm sorry, guys. Thank you, Andy. My guy. He won the Rising Star Award, not the Most Improved. Rising Star Award.
Rising Star, that's right. Yeah, he's solid, man. I like him, man. I think he needs I think it's smart for the Knicks to keep him over there again, to let him get more poised as a point guard. I think he has a good point guard game. I thought so since Summer League when he started to get it together. I think he had his first 2 games, or his first game was a little but the games after that he started balling in the Summer League. Like he got comfortable. So I think give him time to get more poised, see what you have. I think he's solid. He's not the most athletic, of course, but I guess again, I think he's solid, man. I think he has point guard. What is it? Point guard. I don't know the words I'm looking for. Capabilities. He has point guard capabilities. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Don P?
Nah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sold on the kid, to be honest with you. I'm really not. We already got Deuce McBride. We got Emmanuel Quickly. I know, it's somebody that I think we have rights to, if I'm not mistaken. But at this point, I'm leaning more towards trading for a serviceable point guard that we know what we got in him. You know what I mean? We got too many prospects. We have too many unknowns at our point guard position already. We need a sure thing at that position for sure.
Okay. Subliminal, what you think about Rokas?
There's a reason why he was picked in the first round ahead of Miles McBride. He has probably a higher ceiling than him. Everybody, we already mentioned the Rising Stars and him just being in the Summer League, playing the Summer League. I felt like he didn't feel like the lights were too bright when he was out there. He looked real composed out there. He had nice little slick, ball handling skills out there. Yeah, and he has good size too. I think he's 6'3",
6'4",
or 6'4". So yeah, he gives you that length as well. So I'm okay with letting him sit overseas for another year, like you mentioned before too. He's not coming over here to sit on the bench with Tibbs as our coach. So let this course run itself out, and then maybe next year Tibbs isn't our coach and he comes over. Is he playing Summer League? I heard they allowed him to play. I'm not sure.
That is what I'm trying to find out. I haven't heard it confirmed yet, guys. That's I know, and also Almighty Finesse. I know you mentioned that in the chat. I'm hoping that Rokas does play Summer League, because this year, last year, you had Obi, you had Quickly, you had Deuce, you had Grimes. So Rokas, and you also had Luka Vildoza, who wound up not really doing anything. He got hurt and all that stuff. So Rokas couldn't really show himself. If Rokas comes to this year's Summer League, Rokas can be featured. So I think that would be a great look for him. I hope they give him the permission, and I hope it's full permission. Because
they gave him permission. They gave him permission already.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know last year, you guys, if you remember, he was only allowed to play 3 games, and the Knicks actually kept him for a 4th game but then they couldn't really use him or something weird, and then he had to go. So I hope that they, his permission is full, like he could just be here for the whole summer league. So yeah, I mean that would be the key, man. We'll see. Marvin, what do you think about Rokas?
Well, you look at a kid like this, obviously him being as young as he is, it would be a project, and I'm not sure if it would fit exactly in the time framing of the Knicks right now, but numbers can't be ignored, guys. This guy shot lights out, so he's definitely going to stay on the radars of, to be brought up. But as far as his development, his ceiling, he's playing behind, legends over there in the European League, and he's learning from the best. So I think, I keep going back to the numbers. His shooting percentage is off the charts. And he doesn't get a very, because he's coming off the bench, he doesn't shoot that much. But when you look at those percentages, it just makes your eyes pop. So I think he's worth a look. I think it's a project. I don't think he would, they probably try to see what's going on by next year. But I think it's a nice project to have. And if he continue to shoot at this clip, then I think he's just got to be considered. So I think his time is coming.
No, and I agree. And guys, just so you know, because European stats, we're not, some people aren't able even to watch some of the games. So Rokas averaged 7.8 points per game, right? But that's only playing 17.8 minutes, like almost a little under 18 minutes. He averaged about 8 points, right? And then he averaged 3 assists per game. He shot 80% from the free throw line. He shot 57% from twos. He shot 56% from three.
Yes.
And he shot 57% from the field.
Yes.
And at 6'4", Rokas is a pretty sneaky defender. He's kind of like handsy, kind of gets in your face. So he ain't a pushover. He ain't like what we saw with Kimba or what we see with Fournier. They get a little abused on defense. He's not like that at all. So I don't know, man. I like Rokas. Rokas could be something special. And as what Subliminal said, as much as I like Deuce, and I think Deuce can be something pretty good in the league, Rokas might have a better ceiling and might be a better, because Rokas can break you down and get to the rim. Rokas has a good outside shot. Rokas has a good mid-range shot. And he's quick, like as far as his movements. The knock on Deuce is Deuce has problems with his dribble breakdowns of players getting to the rim. That's just always been his knock. And if you look at how Deuce plays, we've seen Deuce a little bit with the Knicks. He kind of is very methodical, slow moving. He moves around, and we haven't really seen him be quick, go up and down the court and break down guys, because that's where he struggles. Rokas doesn't have that same struggle. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I didn't know he was 6'4". That's a game changer for me.
Yeah. No, Rokas he's a unique, unique in the fact that he's better than what you think. Like Luka Vildoza was supposed to be that guy that we thought was going to be something, and we gave him money. Turned out to be not. He got hurt. We had to ship him off. Now he's like, people are saying he's collecting the check with the Bucks in the playoffs. So good for him. And as Andy compared him to, which I agree, Rokas is he has that comparison to damn it, the guy who's on the Nets,
Gordon,
lefty,
Dragic,
Dragic, yeah. And listen, I'm gonna say this once again. I've already said it before. If you guys who are, newer to the NBA, younger people, if you don't remember Goran Dragic was a star in this league, like a bucket, tough to stop. He's older now, and some of his skills have diminished. But when he was in his prime, Goran was a problem.
Sometimes I got to call for the ball myself.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Ron. Sorry, but yeah.
Nah. It's cool, man. Yeah, man. Goran was no joke.
Definitely coached him.
and Ron, before you go, I just wanted to let everybody know and mention it to remind everybody. Hey, man, this young kid over there, those numbers that Ron just called out, those numbers are hard to match. When you shoot at that high percentage, you shooting at a high percentage like that. Now I know it's a sample size, But anytime you can consistently shoot at a high percentage like that, you're going to get looks. So I think he's going to get a look real soon.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Like in previous Knicks regimes, Rokas Jokubaitis is definitely the type of guy I could see them trading. I don't want them to trade him, but I could see them doing that. You know how it is with European players. And then if you don't know how he's gonna fit right away, you're like, oh, he's a commodity. We could get something for him, and you wind up shipping him off. I don't want to do that with this kid.
Yeah.
Hey, Visions. Let me tell you, man, listen, don't hold on. Let me tell you, brother. Let me tell you, because you know, you may be missing it. He ain't special now, but you may be missing it, bro, because Goran Dragic was a bucket. I mean, he was a bucket. You can't say like a guy who consistently, you know, used to get points on good teams. Like in Miami, averaging 20 points per game is a feat. And playing good defense and averaging almost 6 assists, that's not easy to do with a team that runs the way Miami was running. Averaging 20 points per game with Phoenix, he was the man over there. Now, if you want to say that he's not like an upper echelon superstar player that would average, you know, 23, 24, 25 plus points, he wasn't that level. No, he wasn't. But as far as what he did for his role and his position, he was nice, man. And them Phoenix squads with Goran over there, he was a facilitator too. I mean, you know, 5, 6 assists, 7 assists.
He also backed up Steve Nash too.
He did back up Steve Nash. That's a great point. That's a great point.
Came up behind a good, you know, good point guard in Steve Nash.
But I hear you, Visions. He's not like, you know, he wasn't Steve Nash.
Right, he wasn't.
I got you. Yeah, man.
He definitely was a quality point guard in his time. He really was.
No, he definitely was.
You know, in some of the years we needed a guard. We still do, as you can see. Fast forward, we still need one. So I wish we had got hands on a Dragic, man.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that one.
I agree with that, man.
Yeah, back in younger, he was a decent player. He really was.
No, he was. Shout out to Visions once again. Shout out to Keyshawn in the chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining in. El Servi, I think I got you before. It's me. I see you. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, guys. So I'm about to get up out of here, but Cully, any final words?
Nah, that's it, man. It's hot. Let's enjoy this lovely Saturday, man. This blessed Saturday, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you
that's
on that.
Man. Go Knicks. That was my last words. Go Knicks.
There you go. Subliminal.
I just want to say salute to the panels, you know, salute to the chat. Appreciate, you know what I'm saying, the opportunity to rock with y'all and my boy Kelly and, you know, everybody on the panel. Do the same thing. I'm about to take my kids to the park right now and go enjoy this nice weather.
Not, dude, it's Portland. That look nice and sunny out there. What's the weather out there?
It's not even that hot, though. It's probably like lower 70s right now.
It's my type of weather, man. That's the type of weather I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you, brother. Thank you, Don P.
Yeah, man. Yo, salute to the panel, man. Ron, thank you for again having me on the show. For real, I appreciate that. Curly, Subliminal, Marvin, Ron. Like I said, I appreciate chopping it up with you guys, man. And one last thing I want to say, guys may disagree. If the Knicks brass is listening, because I know they be checking in on these shows from time to time. They'd be crazy if they don't. Be low to the Knicks. All right.
Man,
D'Angelo to the Knicks. 18-7 at the 2. Let that settle. I'm out.
Okay. I'm not opposed to that. Yeah, but he dropped the mic on that one. Marvin.
Yeah, well, you know, as always, Ryan, I want to say I appreciate you having me on. Salute to the chat, the panel, all the guys on. And I just want to say, hey, man, I really wanted to ask that question about expectations for the upcoming years, and I guess that could really calm a lot of nerves when your expectations are not out, off the chart, and you figuring something's going to happen and it doesn't. It makes you feel better going into the next year. So I say, hey, let everything play out. Hey, who knows? I'm with you, Ron. I really didn't never get a chance to actually say exactly what I was, but I'm in the mindset the Knicks gonna make a splash. They're gonna bring a superstar in, man. And if they do, how far were they off this year? I don't think they were very far. And with the addition of a superstar, I think it can really take them to the high places. So I think the sky's the limit, and let's see what goes on.
Yeah, man. We'll see, man. At least I just want them to be able to if you're gonna bring somebody in, don't bring no washed up name that used to be the dude. I don't want the used to be the
Right,
dude guy.
man.
You're gonna bring in Donovan, okay. But I really want to bring in Donovan, one, for what he can bring to the team. We'll work around what he can't do, and then see if he can, his presence here will recruit other talent. Say, hey, listen, the Knicks are trying to actually be back on the map. Let's go check them out over there. We'll see if that works out. I don't know, man.
Right.
Junior Honor, salute to you. Thank you for tuning in. We're wrapping up now, so if you want to, go through the replay and watch what we talked about, definitely it's a long show, but you can pick your spots as to what we're talking about. Thank you guys for being with me. Appreciate everybody. Marvin, Subliminal, Cully, Dom P, my man, Jay Boogie, Soul Finger, everybody who joined up, man. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think I got everybody.
Yeah, salute to the chat and Pinto. I finally got to rock with my boy Ron, man.
Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
With Knicks Nation and my man Marv, man. I never got to rock on Marv either, man. You know?
Yeah.
I appreciate you sliding through too last Thursday, Ron. You know what I'm saying? I saw you in the chat.
Oh
yeah.
So
yeah, man, no problem, bro.
Everybody go get some sleep.
yeah, I'll be tired, bro. But I was like, yo, I see these guys are on. Let me see what y'all talking about. So, man, if I can, I will. But sometimes I'll be, let me tell you, 45 hit me hard.
No doubt, man. Yeah, I already know. Man.
All right.
Yeah,
well, y'all enjoy that sun and have a great weekend.
Yeah, no
Thank
doubt.
you, guys.
Thank you, man.
It's baking out here. I'm about to go
Great
barbecue.
show again, Ron. Great show again, Ron. You know that.
Good show,
Thank
man.
y'all. Thank y'all.
All right, y'all.
All right,
Easy,
y'all.
fellas. Salute, chat, panel. Salute.
Appreciate you. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure once again, guys. And once again, I want to apologize for my internet issues delaying the show for about an hour in the beginning. But I think I made up for it. We rocked out for 3 hours and 30 minutes. Thank you guys who have been helping build the channel. We're up to, I think, 715 subscribers, somewhere around that. We continue to get to 1,000. So tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans. We'll be back again. Check us out Monday. We got a special guest. We'll talk about some more draft stuff. Then, Thursday for the NBA report once again. And then the Know the Ledge next Saturday. And then Sunday, we're going to give you part 2 of our NBA draft series with the Knicks being the big part of it. With myself, my man D Poetic, aka D is Ballin', and my boy Prophet from Feet Sports. So thank you guys once again. Salute to y'all. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Let me hit that outro and we get up out of here. Thank you. We'll see y'all.